And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream. Today, we just have one drop, but I think this drop is going to be a pretty big one today. Shout out to everyone joining the live stream. We got Katsu Machu early in here. So what up, JD? Hope the fam gets a fat dub today, manifesting that secret rare. Shout out to everyone joining. We're going to be going over the details today, going over all the covers, going over a couple great videos from Comics and Crypto, VeVe and 3. Making great content once again, so shout out to everyone joining in. I love the covers today. I think this comic book could go for a premium, but with all the excitement around Star Wars and everything like that, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Comey just tweeted out. I thought it was maybe a little update or something like that. Nothing too big. We have Strange Tales, issue number 110. Now, I think the big thing about this is that this is Doctor Strange's first appearance. So I think this is going to be a pretty big deal. I think the movie just came out recently, maybe the other day. So shout out to everyone who was able to go watch that. I think Doctor Strange will continue to be a huge part of the MCU. Here we got the Common. I think a lot of people are fans of the Common today. Put out a couple tweets, or not tweets, but I guess posts on the VeVe app. Trying to get a feeling on, what cover everyone's loving. So many people are, shout out to everyone who responded to that. I think a lot of people were into the comments. Again, I think people are starting to grow a little bit more towards the original covers on these. That's the way I was too. At first I wasn't the biggest comic collector, but then over time, I think it was about October, I started to really fall in love with the original covers. And to kind of separate, you guys know me by now, I love those 3-digit mint commons, but I think the common looks amazing on this one. The uncommon looks great too. I think the uncommon, all these different rarities are going to do great. I do think so long term. Now in the short term, I think these could possibly be maybe a little bit of a sleeper, maybe a little low key. It all depends on how many people tuned into Comics and Crypto's video and maybe Sleeping Comics website, VeVe Rank, anything like that, because I think those guys can really kind of push the needle on the community to see what everybody's going for. We got the rare. I like the rare a lot. I think with the white background, white and black background there, the title pops, the character pops in color. Ultra rare, I think, is one of my favorites too on this one. Just love all the colors around this. I think it looks great. Secret rare, I think this is going to do great. I know there's tons of people that love that all white background. Makes it look pretty premium there. We got Doctor Strange on the cover. Again, for the edition count, nothing too crazy like we've seen before. Not, it's pretty much a standard drop today. 30,000 total editions. We have 21,000 for the common. We have 5,000 for the uncommon. We have 2,350 for the rare, 1,050 for the ultra rare, and 600 for the secret rare. Shout out to everyone joining in today. We got Shago, we got Punch, we got Tucson. That's interesting. A lot of people are saying the movie is boring, Tucson's saying. Let me know in the chat, guys, have you guys seen the movie at all yet? I know Alex from the VeVe team, he went and saw the movie the other night. Drop some teasers saying, I think a lot of us understand by now that Marvel's kind of hinting at a lot of things, kind of just giving us a lot of Easter eggs. A lot of these drops are kind of correlated for what they have planned in the future, I think. And Alex kind of touched on that a little bit in the tweet, so it was good to see that. We're trying to manifest that secret rare today. Secret rare vibes, huh? How we doing, Punch? How we doing, Henry? Gary, how we doing? I don't know about this, Henry. It may be possible to get multiple in the drop. I think that's going to be a steal. We got Miss Rose in the building. I didn't think we were going to be able to get multiple on the drop for the Star Wars comics, but a lot of people were able to get 2, sometimes even 3. I decided just to stick with 1. I didn't think I was even going to have a chance at 2, and I kind of wanted to see my mint number there. But I think this one, if we're able to get 2, that's going to be a steal. Like I said, I think this is going to come out kind of low just because I think more people are kind of hyped up and excited for Star Wars. But this comic, we're going to touch in a couple of videos how valuable this comic is in real life. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. For me, I think if it comes out really, really, really low, I may pounce on some good deals. But I am trying to save some gems right now. Save some from adding in. I only added in enough for today's drop. Punch said the rare and the ultra rare VeVe exclusives today. Good to know. I think on the Star Wars drop, that rare and ultra rare were not VeVe exclusives, I believe. Now it's going to be interesting to see play out in the future. If they're not VeVe exclusives, I wonder where else they could drop. But that could be a good thing too, because if they drop on another app or another platform in the future, the first one, even if it's not a VeVe exclusive, the first one's still going to be on the VeVe app. So definitely going to be interesting to see how things play out in the future. Good luck today, everybody. We got Billy the Kid. We got JT in the building. Speaking of JT, I don't know if you guys have seen or not, the other JT from LA, the Dodgers. We got Justin Turner in the VeVe fam. Welcome, Justin Turner, if you're tuning in today. We got another MLB athlete in the VeVe fam. I think there's a lot of athletes, pro athletes, celebrities in the community right now that probably have been just kind of collecting on the down low, trying to soak up, be a sponge, try to absorb all this information. And I think once we start to get the cash out rolling out for everybody, the website's finally here, I think that's when we're going to start to see a lot of people kind of come out and talk about the VeVe app, the collectibles that they're collecting, because I don't think they want to have to put their brand on the line and say, yeah, but we will be able to cash out, guys, soon. I think once that's here, that's when we're going to ramp up a lot of people talking about it. That's just my personal opinion, nothing confirmed or anything like that. Just kind of how I see it. Kind of the same thing with Gary Vee. I think Gary Vee will promote VeVe. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen, but I think he'll start to talk about it maybe a little bit more. People like Elon Musk, I'm highly speculating, nothing confirmed, obviously, but I'm speculating that people like him will even start to talk about VeVe once everything's rolled out. I don't think people like that caliber will start talking about VeVe and say, yeah, but we can cash out in a little bit. Yeah, but we can use crypto in a little bit. The website's going to be here. Like once everything's rolled out, that's when I think a lot of things are going to start to unravel. Just my opinion, of course. And the Assassin said the movie was good. Good to know. Good to know. Anyone want to drop any kind of clues or any kind of teasers of what's to come, possibly your predictions? Ken Dub. Secret Rare vibes all day today. I got a feeling a couple people are going to get one today. Doctor Strange in general is kind of boring to Tucson. Understand your opinion. Understand. Multiverse Gate today. Good morning, Horgo. What do you think about the new battle statue? Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen this at all? I think I don't think the Medium article is out just yet. Let me double check on that. Yep, not out just yet. May just have to bring up a picture. Because I think people are getting excited for another battle statue. Let's check it out. We got Superman. We got Flash. This is when now, let me check real quick the battle statue price. We've seen it go down a lot, the first battle statue. Let me just double check here on the price. I think it's like in the 200s maybe. Yeah, 222. Now, again, like I said before when this dropped, I think we'll see the first battle statue start to gain value as multiple battle statues start to come out. I'm not sure if it's really going to raise the value of the first one, but once we start seeing a few battle statues and we start seeing master collectors of all the battle statues, I think that's when the very, very first one is going to start to have a premium. As a collector, I like the fact that it's the first Batman in color, but that doesn't really have a significant weight until we start to see a ton of different Batman come out, right? So things like that will probably take a little bit of a long-term aspect. But we'll see what happens. I'm a big fan of it, Punch. I think it looks amazing. Let me just bring it up one more time. I know a lot of questions have been going on in the community. That's not the FA Flash. What's going to happen? I don't know how VeVe's going to list it because it is a Superman and a Flash. This is not the FA Superman. But that would be the FA Flash. So it's going to be definitely interesting. I think it will be. If it's not listed, I mean, still technically it's FA Flash. But I definitely am interested to see how it's listed. I know a lot of people have been saying, yeah, but it's already on HRO or whatever, right? I mean, we've been seeing that since last year, right? All these different platforms maybe having some type of, collectible that's similar in a different type of format. I think it was like Wonder Woman that came out on those floppy disk cards from, I think it was DC or Palm or something like that. Now, those are great too. But the way I see it, the way I look at it, just an opinion of mine. I mean, we could be wrong, we could be right. Who knows, right? In the future, I think there's a discussion of first to the blockchain. Is that going to matter? The way I see it is, it's what I think is going to be most important is the FA in premium digital format, in premium 3D digital format. That's the way I see it. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe it is the first to the blockchain that matters more to more people. But for me, I think it matters more about premium digital format. And I think that's the way VeVe's handling it as well, too. Again, I think VeVe is going to be one of those apps where majority of the users worldwide are on it. Sort of like a social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's just going to be another one of those tied in with the biggest brands in the world. So when you're scrolling on, your friend's feed or anything like that, you don't just see pictures that they're posting. You see, things that they're actually interested in, different collectibles, and people bond over that kind of stuff. You meet people from a different country. You start talking about the things that you guys are into together, and you start meeting new people that way. I think that's what's great about VeVe is that, it's not just random NFTs. They're actually NFTs. They're digital collectibles from the favorite brands that you've loved for years already. So that's just the way I see it. I think it's going to matter more about premium digital format as opposed to first to the blockchain. But I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. We got Squad in the building. Is this MSC Squad? How we doing, brother? How we doing? Every time I see you, I think of fishing. I feel like I got to get back on my fishing game. It's probably been about a year or so since I really went fishing. I think I took my nephew out fishing a couple times last year. Probably around last summerish, I would say. I thought JT was you in the photo. That's hilarious. Justin Turner. I wish, man. I wish I was playing MLB ball right now. Baseball has been my favorite sport my whole life. I still feel like I got a lot left in the tank, so you never know what could happen in the future. But we'll see. We'll see. Recur dropping Top Gun NFT for AMC movie. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Recur. Shout out to Top Gun. I think Top Gun was already released. I don't think it'll be like the FA of Top Gun because I could be wrong, but it depends how they do it, right? I don't know what kind of utility or what kind of stuff they have, and I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest, on Recur. But I think another platform dropped Top Gun like last March, TVK, that other platform over there. Chasing Sundays, good luck, good luck. How we doing? How we doing, Chasing? Tucson's not big on this Doctor Strange movie, it looks like. Okay. I think it is Riley Pie. I think there's going to be a big discussion. I think the discussion is not going to be settled either anytime soon. I think as we move into this whole digital collecting age, this digital collecting space, I think the question is always going to be, in the communities, all different communities too. What's more important? Is it the FA on the blockchain? Is it the FA in premium digital format? I think it's just going to be a good discussion to have too. I think it's a valuable one to have. Just like Walt and Mickey, kind of like it's the partner statue. I kind of see that happening with this one, Riley Pie. It may not say FA of Flash. It may just say, I don't know what it'll say, to be honest. But I kind of got a feeling it's going to be like that Walt and Mickey situation to where it doesn't say FA Walt Disney, FA Mickey Mouse in the details. Mickey was FA, that's a fact. And that's been confirmed from Disney, so we know that. I mean, there's probably going to be another platform out there in the future that releases a Mickey Mouse NFT, and they're going to say the first Mickey Mouse NFT, right? Kind of like how we've seen it with Spider-Man, the whole Batman debate, right? But again, I think we're going to see more platforms come out and just say random stuff to kind of capitalize on that, marketing aspect of promotion. But definitely that's been confirmed from Disney itself that VeVe has the first appearance of Mickey Mouse, the first appearance of Walt Disney together in one statue in the first week that Disney's ever released digital collectibles in all gold. I mean, unbelievable. Get your hands on this statue. Riley Pie. I agree. Plus, it's a Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane toys, I think, are still undervalued as a whole. I think Todd McFarlane's name has now become immortal, has now become a legacy, and it's only going to continue. People 10 years from now, imagine 10 years from now, right? 20 years from now, people are going to say, you got a Todd? And Todd's going to be a household name because of Todd McFarlane, you know? Good morning, Green Goblin. How we doing, fam? Let's get this bread. Yeah, Top Gun's pretty cool. I won't lie. I'm a fan of Top Gun. I like it. Looks pretty sweet. 2022 version of Top Gun might be good. I kind of agree. You know, kind of revamp it a little bit. Morning, JD. Good morning, Rich J. How we doing? How we doing? First to the key, first to the A. Man, I forget who kept saying VeVe Player 1, but I 100% see it coming. I mean, they've talked about that as being kind of like their goal that they're targeting long term. Obviously, we know Ready Player 1, that kind of stuff isn't going to happen in the next couple months, but that's where this space is going. And one good thing about VeVe that a lot of us love about it is that this isn't some kind of pop-up NFT. You know, they didn't just have this idea at the beginning of the year or last year. They've been working on this since 2016. You know, when you're putting in the groundwork for 4 years, knowing where this space is going, and then finally, perfect timing, everything unravels at the right perfect time. I mean, think about it. They launched in January, right? January publicly last year. They didn't know NFTs. They didn't know Beeple was going to, you know, have that $70 million sale and NFTs were going to go crazy this year. Just everything unraveled at the perfect time. Truly unbelievable. And so I saw a lot of people. I saw one person specifically, forget who it was though. So if it was you and you're watching, put it in the chat. Kept saying they're going to keep tagging VeVe Player 1 until it's a reality. Do you have a troll meter, JT? How are we doing, real talk? Absolutely. And that's the thing, too. You know, bigger brands have a larger pool. Absolutely, real talk. That's definitely a big fact. I mean, I think a lot of people have seen the channel when it was back in November. When we first had Disney, we had over 200 viewers, right? We had over 200 viewers on the live stream because Disney put out a tweet saying, go get your digital collectibles on the VeVe app. We've had one tweet and we had, I think, over 200,000 new users. Unbelievable. I mean, can you just imagine what's going to happen when Disney's promoting VeVe on the regular, when Warner Brothers promoting VeVe, when Marvel's really promoting VeVe all over the place? We've only seen little teasers of that so far, little tweets here and there, right? Maybe they'll throw us up on their website for a day, but I think this is really going to ramp up once all these catalysts are here. So this is still, in my opinion, an amazing time. You know, this is an opportunity, in my opinion. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. My opinions only, but I believe that this is a huge opportunity still. Morning, Diego. Oh, Diego, currently washing my car and have no Wi-Fi, no chance on today's drop. Might want to go for it on your data. I mean, that's definitely a possibility if you want to try, if you don't have Wi-Fi. Hey, racked up on Jurassic Park. Now, I've been wondering this myself, Punch. I'm not positive if this VeVe NFT from the Jurassic Park AMC is going to be that valuable, just because I don't know how many editions there's going to be. I don't know how many people got one. They've talked about how this isn't supposed to be, you know, a highly scarce type item. That's supposed to be more so like a promotion ship to get members to sign up and everything like that. I mean, I got a few of them. This is one of the very first ones that VeVe has done. So I wanted to be a part of it. I love Jurassic Park. I'm going to get one of those first Jurassic Park NFTs. If it's a poster, if it's a dinosaur, no matter what, I'm still going to be pretty excited about it. Shout out to Punch for grabbing those. Basket for show today. We got Energy in the building. How we doing, Energy? How many sets are you up to now? Like 89, 90? I've been wondering, too, if they're going to eventually make the comic book sets a complete set. I know a lot of comic fans have been kind of interested in that, kind of hoping for that. I've been wondering if they're going to kind of change it and go that direction. I think it's kind of up in the air still, and they're kind of debating it. I'm not positive. I think they originally said they're not going to. So we're going to be definitely going to be interesting to see if things change about that. I think it will put some weight on some of these uncommon, some of these rares that may not be that valuable. People will try to complete a set that way, right? Who's buying some Omi on this dip of the dippity dip? Shout out to Green Goblin. Buying Omi every day. That's why I'm heavy on Disney. Always going to be FA with VeVe and blockchain. Absolutely, Mendez flips. Shout out to Mendez flips. I completely agree. I think most of you guys know by now. I tailored a lot of my collection from the art to a lot of these bigger IP brands. Now it's just my personal opinion. I kept a lot of the fine art that I love, like obviously the Dragon Girl. I kept some of the Decon art that I love. Tara Mcpherson, the Way I love that one. Just some personal artworks that I absolutely love. The Patrick Hughes, I still have that one. I'm keeping that one. Same mints, matching mints. That's unbelievable for me. That was my first one. What I noticed too about Patrick Hughes is a lot of people were able to grab matching mint sets, which is pretty interesting. I feel like that was a little bit unusual. But I'm glad to see it though. I think there'll be a premium once we can sell full sets together. But to touch on this a little bit more, yeah, Mendez flips. I'm definitely a bigger fan, personally, of the big IP that I feel like everybody worldwide loves and has loved for years and decades, like Marvel, DC, Disney. These big IPs, absolutely in love with them myself. Let's go, absolutely. FA is going to always be FA blockchain, even if it's on Wax. Value will be reflective of quality and provider of the collectible. Wax equals thumbs down, VeVe equals thumbs up. Shout out to Green Goblin. Yeah, it's going to be one of those topics where I think it's going to be, a debate continuously over time. I think maybe even in a couple years, that's going to be continuously a debate, right? One thing I did notice about this comment, which I like a lot, is the part where he said value will be reflective of quality and provider of the collectible. I think that has a big point too. I know Dan Schawbell has been talking a lot about this. He originally was huge on maybe the first, and then kind of, shifted his thought process into maybe it's going to be more so about who provides the best utility, right? I think it's going to be an ongoing debate for sure. For me, I think, the first appearance is going to be a huge deal. And I think the utility added will just be even a bonus, putting it over the edge type thing. Because if you look at some of the cards, the quality of the provider is going to be a big factor too. Because some of the cards, you look in the physical world, just because it was first doesn't mean it was the most valuable. Sometimes it's the one that's, highly sought after. So it's just going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the future. Matt Smith, good morning. Good morning. We need more McFarlane comic books on VeVe. I think McFarlane will kind of roll out his own comics eventually. Good morning, QBJD. Good morning, wide receiver Zachary Roy. How we doing, brother? This one we may need to bust out rhythm game. I think we may be able to get to, just because the overall sentiment's more so on Star Wars, even if this one is a highly sought after comic book. I haven't even dove into the two videos I want to watch yet, so we're going to dive into them in just a second. Maybe we'll dive into it right now. I'm gonna get to some more comments and then I'm gonna dive into the first video. I will probably try to go for 2 on this one. Maybe I'll just stick with 1, but we'll see what happens. What up, Johnny? Did you get a back cow? So TKO Barber, I did get one. The part I liked about that is the social media integration. I think I bought mine on the 28th or the 29th of April. Is it May? Yeah, it's May right now. So about a week ago, I bought mine. I think it's a cool little project. I think it could do well. We'll see what happens. DG Vet, good morning. Good morning. Christian J, how we doing? How we doing, fam? Energy's at 89 sets right now. Whoo! About to be big 9-0 in a little bit. I wonder if we're going to get Doctor Strange digital collectible soon. I do have a love affair. My golden dragon girl. I think it just looks amazing. There's been so many times where I wanted to kind of sell my duplicate just for some extra liquid, but every time I just delist it because I can't let it go. And it's just too cheap for me to let it go right now too. It's like at 1.2, 1.4K. It'd be nice to have a little liquid like that, but I think the season 1 artwork is what really gets me going. But like for me, I think that's a grail on the app. It's the only artwork in season 1. As we get to season 10, 15, so on, it's going to be looked at as legendary. So I think I just have to lock that one up and forget about it. Put that one away. 7th Winnie the Pooh. Whew, I only have 2 of those. I think that's going to be huge. Popped you up on the smart TV. Let's go. We got the big screen going in Punch's house. J.O. said, FA discussions. All I know is that I'm chilling with my FAR2D2. No discussions about that one. Miss Rose. 2 Winnie the Pooh. I mean, that's going to be big time. I only have 2 as well. Ken Penguin, good luck today as well. All right, let's dive into this video here. First one we got is from Comics and Crypto. You guys probably know him by now. 7.59 subs. He's about to be at 10K real soon. Let's get him up there, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hodl or Sell, where we'll be breaking down Strange Tales number 110. In the end, we will let you know if we plan to hodl or sell. As always, this is not financial advice, but purely for entertainment purposes only. Also, if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button to receive updates on all our content. This video is sponsored by Elite Comics 11, Instagram's #1 community-powered comic sales page. This Friday, May 6th, we are getting the Silver Age comic Strange Tales number 110. First appearance of Doctor Strange, the Ancient One, and Wong. Story by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber, with art by Dick Ayers, Larry Lieber, Matt Fox, and Steve Ditko, with cover by Jack Kirby. After a life-threatening car crash, the brilliant neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange goes on a physical and spiritual journey that draws him into the world of the mystic arts. Having learned his talents from the Ancient One, Dr. Stephen Strange becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, Earth's foremost protector against magic and mystical threats. Doctor Strange has been a very important ally to the Avengers over the years and played a pivotal role in the destruction of Thanos in the 2019 film Avengers Endgame. Portrayed by the incredible Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange has appeared in 5 Marvel films, including Marvel's latest film, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, in theaters now. The sequel is directed by Sam Raimi, who helmed the original 3 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, as well as many cult horror classics. According to Go Collect, Strange Tales number 110 has a 9.6 grade, sold for $66,000 back in 2014. There is no 9.8 on the CGC census, and Go Collect currently does not have an estimated value for the 9.6 grade. But with only 6 copies on the CGC census, we estimate this comic could sell for over $500,000. For my final verdict, I give this book a hodl. This comic is a Silver Age classic and contains multiple first appearances of significant characters in the MCU, including Doctor Strange. With the Avengers falling apart due to a departure from Captain America and Iron Man, we feel confident that Doctor Strange will take on a bigger role in the MCU, becoming a very important leader to current and upcoming superheroes. It's for this reason that we are very optimistic the value of this comic will do well over time, and we anticipate his continued involvement in the MCU will help his character grow in popularity worldwide, which means great things for his first appearance comic in both digital and physical format. We personally own 2 physical copies of Strange Tales number 110, and not only do we plan to go for the drop, but also snipe great deals in the marketplace. This comic has a very safe floor with big upside potential. Please make sure to reference the spreadsheet on our link tree for each comic definition and ranking. The link will be included in the details below.
Definitely a good list too. If you guys aren't familiar with this list, you can go to Comics and Crypto's Twitter page, go into his link. I think it's like a link tree, and go into the comic rankings, and you can look at all of his top. I think it's top 30 maybe. See what they're going for on VeVe, see what they're going for in real life, give you the comic error. I think this is a great resource right here.
overall, we still believe that Silver Age, Key, and Grill books should have the best long-term value. Also, if you would like to see our weekly comic book rankings, please make sure to follow us on Twitter at Comics and Crypto, where we will have new VeVe comic book rankings every Monday. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and check out the rest of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. Along with our weekly episodes, we will also be doing a HODL or sell video the day before every drop to help you make the best decision for your collection.
Great video, guys. Great video. And you heard it from him. Comics and Crypto themselves. Looks like a pretty big book. We got a 30-minute warning tweet from VeVe. 29 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Steven said Disney all day. I think Disney's one of the safest bets on the app. Just my personal opinion. I can only imagine the kind of utility that they can kind of provide in the future with their Disney parks, especially with AR glasses coming out from Apple. I think there's just talks with Disney and Meta working together. I think Meta is having like a Star Wars experience in the Oculus, in the metaverse. I think everything's unraveling just like we've all kind of predicted, envisioned, a year ago. I think it's going to come to a point where VeVe's integrated in Meta, VeVe's integrated in Apple, all these different, metaverses, Oculus, AR, VR glasses, to where I truly believe, kids are going to be coming home from school before they're in school in the AR, VR glasses. They're going to be coming home from school instead of saying, wishing to go to Disney World in real life. Just put on your glasses. People are going to be going to Disney World in augmented reality, in virtual reality, I should say. More so virtual reality once they're at homes. Putting on their glasses, going through the Star Wars experience in the metaverse, being able to pick up, your first appearance collectibles in the VeVe gift shop right there. Maybe when you go to Disney World and you have that, and you have the AR glasses, it's like an overlay, like my buddy Tyler was talking about the other day. You're in the Disney parks with the Apple AR glasses. You see the VeVe NFTs all around to everybody who has them. Like things like that could be unbelievable, right? And it's where we're headed in the space. Those golden moments are a great pickup. Some of them are extremely cheap too. I think some may even be less than $100 right now. I didn't realize the battle statue was a McFarlane. McFarlane has some low-key toys out there. Like even the Homer Simpson and the Homer and Bart, that Disney golden moment, that's a Todd McFarlane. That's a McFarlane toy in the real world, the physical world. Finished the whole set of Star Wars. Solid move right there. New exchange listing for Omi. Good luck this AM. JD, shout out to Diane C. Good luck today as well, too. I think this is a pretty solid comic book. Let me dive into one more video here. This is a great video as well, too. I'm going to keep bringing up videos from VeVe and 3. They're amazing content creators. Trying to get them to 5K subs one day. They'll be there soon.
Welcome back to VeVe 3 with me, Corey, aka Old Rhubarb on VeVe, and
Heather from the VVT and also Heroes and Heroines.
And we're getting a super timely comic with the release of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, with Strange Tales 110110. That's the one before the 111, which was our second appearance of Doctor Strange. So obviously, this is our first appearance of Doctor Strange. And this one's going to be landing on the platform on Friday, April 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
All right, so I know Corey and I both have tickets actually to see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and we're really excited to see that, and we were really excited to see it again, this timely comic release.
And this comic was published on July 1st of 1963, and it had the legends Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, and Dick Ayers doing the work. Much like our last Strange Tales 111, Doctor Strange doesn't get any cover love or mentions. Instead, this is another era comic that features villains like Paste Pot Pete, the purple beret-wearing, glue-gun-toting madman. And much like the last Strange Tales, this book is separated into two different short-form stories. While Doctor Strange and Nightmare get their first appearances, keep in mind their story is just 5 pages long, and it's at the back of the book.
And this was Marvel testing the waters, as magicians and comics were not a new thing. Lee Falk's Mandrake the Magician rolled out in 1934, and Fred Gardner's Zatara followed in Action Comics in 1938. No doubt, Stan Lee and the folks at Marvel had read those books many times over as they began creating their own characters and stories. The big difference was the inclusion of occult themes and sorcery, instead of the sort of stage magic seen in the prior comic strips.
And imagine creating these characters kind of from basic concepts of other things that you've seen. And, they hid Doctor Strange in the back of this book because they had no idea how it was going to perform. And it's exciting to think that Stan Lee at least lived long enough to see some of his characters that he helped create, like Doctor Strange, become household pop culture icons.
And the villain introduced in this book is nothing to shrug at. Nightmare was a force to contend with. While this entry comic is sort of rudimentary in the presentation, Nightmare goes on to become an insanely legitimate villain that gets a ton of use. We'll find out tomorrow at the movie, but there's a lot of speculation that Nightmare will be involved in the multiverse of madness. And when I watched Spider-Man No Way Home, I was convinced for most of the movie that Nightmare was involved, and that's why Strange was acting so bizarre in the movie.
And in terms of physical value, this one is a heavy hitter. This is an exceptionally scarce comic, which probably ties into the fact that in 1963, people likely didn't ever think Doctor Strange would become what he is today. There wasn't a ton of preservation effort by collectors up.
I'm going to stop it right here. If you look at this chart, at the bottom here, it shows you the grades. A lot of grades in like the 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 range, but as soon as, like we saw before, no 9.8s really that have been sold.
Of that day. Go Collect has these sitting around $74K at 9.4. The last recorded sale at 9.6 was back in 2014 for $66,000. It seems that few of these cased at higher grades aren't making many sales, which either indicates people are holding long or people aren't willing to pay that sticker price.
And again, Doctor Strange is getting some cover love from the VeVe exclusive rare and ultra rare covers. These are coming from Ario Anandito and Rochelle Rosenberg. These two have collaborated often, both in the physical and digital realms, with Ario working inks and Rochelle working colors. So let's dig into these covers. First, the classic cover is minting 21,000 editions. The Human Torch was the poster boy for a lot of Strange Tale books in this era. I sort of wish I could have been a fly on the wall when they discussed the creation of Paste Pot Pete. And with that being said, this character would eventually go by the name of Trapster, and he has a long run in comics.
Next, the Uncommon Vintage variant is minting 5,000 editions. Color selection on the Human Torch seems to be the go-to for these comics. It works, as the torch is nice and bright against that black and white background. We do wish the title and text boxes had some color, just to give the piece a little bit more balance.
Our first exclusive cover is the Rare Hero variant, minting 2,350 editions. We're really glad that Ario and Rochelle stayed true to the original costuming of Doctor Strange. Notice the sort of speckled gloves, the design of his cloak, and the eye around his neck are all era specific. This is the sort of modern reimagining we like, when they homage the original character concept.
The ultra rare vibranium variant is minting 1,050 editions. The addition of the background color doesn't really add a whole lot to it, simply because it's mostly just abstract energy. It's really pretty, but it would have been cool if they incorporated some of the dream environment from the strip behind Strange. Because of this, for me, the rare is a little more desirable from a purely aesthetic viewpoint. Though, with scarcity, I wouldn't be heartbroken with this cover either.
Last, the True Believer Secret Rare, minting 600 editions. This is an interior panel pull secret rare, and here's the panel it's being sourced from. It may not seem like much, but this cover design is a step in a changing direction. You'll notice in the original panel, Strange's fingers and elbow were cut off. They actually modified the original art to provide a more complete cover, and we're all for it.
And that's a wrap for this info dump. We're going to be enjoying ourselves a Strange day tomorrow because we have this Doctor Strange comic drop. And then right after that, we have 2 movie tickets booked separately because, we have a 1-year-old. So one of us has to stay home with the kids. So I'll be enjoying an early morning $9 matinee. And then she'll be enjoying a little bit later morning matinee as well. As always, we will post more whenever we know more. This is Corey.
And Heather.
Signing off.
Great video. Great video. They need a babysitter so they can go watch the movie together. I think this comics is going to do pretty well. Maybe in the short term, like I was saying before, like it could get overlooked just because a lot of people are hyped for Star Wars and everything like that. But The prices on these in the real world are big time. So I think a lot of people understand that. Yeah, definitely. Punch. YouTube on the TV definitely looks a lot bigger. Or a lot better, I should say, too. Absolutely. Has this been confirmed, cryptocurrency Scarface? Oh, okay. Energy saw Doctor Strange the other day. Said it was too short. I wanted to hear some opinions on this movie because I know a lot of people have saw it, or have seen it, I should say. A lot of people did see the movie. I don't want to have you guys spoil anything out there for me, but just kind of want to hear overall thoughts because some people were saying it was a little boring. Some people liked it. Some people just said it was too short. Got a couple comments on the VeVe app. I'll read you guys what everybody is saying on the VeVe app. I asked the question, what's your favorite cover on today's comic? Some people said common and ultra rare. Common by far for me. Common, just love the original. Secret rare is cool too. Loving the ultra rare. I said that. The classic common, someone said. Jay Venom said, wait, I just thought about it. Secret rare. Shout out to everyone who's going for the drop today. Is there anyone not going for the drop today? I have a feeling everyone's going for this drop. Absolutely, Riley Pie. I feel the same way. Now, I'm hoping that we do see some dinosaurs dropping, or that we get some dinosaurs from the AMC Jurassic Park, promo NFT. Now, I don't get your hopes up, guaranteeing that's the case. Could be 3 different posters, right? We don't know for sure, but I feel the same way. I don't really care if VeVe releases those T-Rex dinosaurs and they drop in price a little bit for the next drop. I'm 100% getting a T-Rex. I'm 100% grabbing the Jurassic Park. I need those roaming around my VeVe verse. I think they're just amazing looking. I mean, can you imagine opening up your digital house and just having a T-Rex dinosaur just right there at the door, like guarding it? That's kind of how I see it happening. Absolutely, Johnny West Coast. I'll be going for this drop. I want to be going over the drop strategy again, just in case there's new users tuning in. Any veterans in the game by now need a little refresher. I'm going to be going over the timing technique, rhythm gate, whatever you want to call it. JD gate. We got Getsy in the building. How we doing, fam? J.O. So I didn't hit anything crazy on that Star Wars drop. I only got a mid-tier digit common. Ended up grabbing the secret rare, though. I still want to grab the ultra rare. I still need to grab a 3-digit common. I kind of wanted to complete every, and I grabbed an uncommon too. Not a crazy mint number or anything like that, but I just had to have one of those posters. That's on the original or on the cover of the comic there for the uncommon. How we doing? Triple X from Holland. How we doing? Season 3 OG said rare. Shout out to Season 3 OG for joining us today. What do you mean by rare? Is that the cover that you're liking the best, you're saying? Let's dive into it. I think the rare does look really good. The thing about the rare that I like so much is that you have the, Doctor Strange in color, but that white background with the title there in color, it just looks like a perfect comic cover, if you ask me. Because it's not completely, all white in the background, like the secret rare. Some people love this. It makes it look a little bit more premium, some say. I just love the color combination with the rare. I agree with that Season 3 OG. I think the ultra rare looks great too. I'm loving the common and the rare today. If I had to rank them, Season 3 OG, I was originally a little bit more on the ultra rare. But I think looking at them all, again, close up, I'm going to rank mine just by aesthetics, by the way they look. Like the rare the most. Wow, it's really between the secret rare, ultra rare, and the common for me. And I would say the uncommon's last for me today. I think if they did make the title in color, kind of like what VeVe and 3 was talking about, I think that would have just set it off. Season 3 OG, I agree with you, brother. I think he hit the nail on the head with this one. I'm liking the rare the most, just aesthetic wise, not value wise. Man, I'm kind of torn on this. No, I'll give it up for the secret rare. I'll give it up to the secret rare because I do like the white and the color on this one. I like this one too. It kind of just blends in though a little bit too much for me. I would have to go rare, secret rare, common, ultra rare, uncommon. Just my favorites today. It's a tough one though. I'm kind of torn on a lot of them. Price prediction for secret rare. Pav. How we doing? How we doing? My prediction on the secret rare, I don't think it's going to go crazy like past. I think it's going to be under 1K initially, and I think it's going to run up past 1K. Again, I think the overall sentiment isn't just there just yet. I think people are still kind of like, Strange Tales. Majority of the people, or I should say smart money, has done their research and they understand the value of this comic. I do think it's going to be under 1K to start off, and then I think it's going to run up as probably the word spreads afterwards. Like, yo, this is an important comic. Check out Comics and Crypto's video. Check out VeVe and 3's video. Check out every other content creator's video out there who made, a great video on this one. Yeah, I kind of did it low key too. Felt like I needed to lock this one in. Now, again, I know Star Wars #1. It's not the most highly valuable comic in the world, in the physical world. For now, I do think Star Wars #1 is going to continue to gain value on VeVe and in real life. Because you got to think of how many people in the world are discovering comics because of VeVe. How many people are discovering that they love to collect comics because of VeVe? I was one of them. And because I was more of your mainstream, average type person, if I want to now go and collect these comics in the physical world, I'm aware enough to know that I'm not going to be the only one. I'm not going to be alone in that aspect. So that's why I think the demand for these physical comics have so much room to grow, because it's apps like VeVe that are going to turn your average person into a comic book collector, into any kind of collector, right? So I think as we go on in years and years and years, more and more people just like me who have never collected a comic book in the real world will start to become hardcore collectors because of apps like VeVe. So if you have a highly popular item, collectible comic book like Star Wars #1, I only see that going up in value, in my opinion only. Ooh, okay, I like the uncommon. So there's a lot of people out there that do like the uncommon. So again, just because I don't like it the most out of this one, don't feel like you guys can't like it. I think they're all amazing in their own right. Just my little personal preference there. Today's a hard one, though. I will say that. Today was hard to kind of pick which one I'm liking. Definitely. The rare... You know what else? There's another comic recently that I looked at in my collection. It's not that valuable at all, but it looks like a secret rare. Kind of like the rare comic on this one. I think it's the Immortal Hulk, maybe? I can't even bring up my comics right now. Let's see. I'm not sure which rarity. It might be a rare or uncommon or something like that. Yeah, both Johnny's. Johnny West Coast, Johnny East Coast have the secret rare Star Wars now. Excuse me. I think the ultra rare will do great too. I think that's it was a tough debate. Do I just, buy the ultra rare? At the time, though, I think ultra rare was about just half of what the secret rare was. Let me try to bring this up. Here it is. Yep. It's the uncommon Incredible Hulk. I felt like this one had secret rare vibes too. Incredible Hulk right there. We all know that's a secret rare from it. Again, shout out to Luke Blackby, my guy, gifted me the secret rare comic. Unbelievable. I'll never forget that. I still got it. Appreciate you big time, brother. That meant a lot to me. Great question, J.O. Do you think that in the VeVe-verse, collectibles that are interactive, look good, and are played music will be more valuable than FAs like Golden Moments or Mighties? Or will the FA tag still be king? Great question, J.O. Now, I'm going to preface my statement here with saying we don't know for sure. Whatever answer I give, I could be completely wrong. I could end up being right. we're so early in this space where no one's really an expert just yet. We're all kind of, leaning on intuition. We're all kind of leaning on research and all kinds of things that we've done to give a, I would say, a speculation, like an educated guess type thing. We all don't know for sure. Now, thinking about this, I think it's a possibility, kind of like in that short, medium term, to where when we do get the VeVeverse rolling out, I'm not talking about the first iteration of what's going to become with like the showrooms. I kind of see that just the first iteration of the VeVeverse being like a multiplayer in our showrooms, like nothing too crazy, but just to where you and I can both come in my showroom at the same time and we can like interact in there at the same time. So it's not like you can come in my showroom just by yourself. I think that may be the first iteration. So nothing too crazy, but as we get, more iterations going on, as we get that web app all rolled out for everybody and we kind of have like a virtual VeVeverse type thing, I definitely see maybe right away a lot of the things that are cool, exciting, fun to do, interactive, maybe music. I think they could, be a premium right away. I think the FE tags are more so like a blanket for long term, meaning like, when we have, tons of Wonder Woman out there, tons of Superman out there, tons of Batman, Spider-Man, I think that's when it's like, wow, you have the first appearance of that character, though. You have the first edition of that. I think that's when it's really going to be a premium. I think those FE tags are more long-term. And then the way I see it is like maybe some cool interactive type collectibles with sound, music, moving. I think those will be amazing as soon as we get the new, because it's new, right? If you have something that can interact with another thing that's moving, it looks amazing. That could be more than a FA of a big character, right? In the short term type time frame. And then as more and more roll out, people get tired of that. I think long term, people will be amazed that you have that first appearance of a big time character. That's just kind of how I see it, Gio. Again, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm right. We don't really know for sure. I'm with you in the cover picks. Hey, let's go. We got Green Goblin. Kind of agreeing with that one. Again, it's just a personal opinion. I'm glad some people agree with it. Some people don't, but that's okay. We got Doctor Strange in the building. Let's go. Perfect timing. We got Doctor Strange in the building. This is the official Doctor Strange, guys, from the movie. Only kidding. We got Getsy. How we doing? Going for 8 today. How many phones are you using, Getsy? Hopefully you're able to get a few. I'm only going for 1. I mean, maybe 2, but I'm probably just going to be good with 1 or 2. Let's go. Diego made it home just in time for the drop. We got about 8 minutes left for the drop. Let's find out exactly how much time. We got 7 minutes and 8 seconds to the drop. You think it's going to sell out quick? I kind of do, Johnny Boy. I think this is going to be one that people is like a sleeper almost, is kind of like waking people up as the drop happens, after the drop, like, oh, wow, this is okay, pretty valuable, right? I think just because of the title, Strange Tales, issue number, what issue is this again? Issue number 110, I think people may just overlook it because it's not Star Wars, right? Even though this one goes for more than the Star Wars comic, I think Star Wars just has so much popularity on the app right now. A lot of it's kind of community driven too, to where there's more Star Wars fans on the app. Star Wars stuff is going to do great. So, plus Star Wars long term, I mean, cult following. But again, this comic book has extreme value in real life right now. We got Audible. How we doing? How we doing, fam? All is well with me. Hopefully all is well with you, my man. It's been a while since I seen you. I think I saw you pop up a little bit ago. Hopefully you've been doing okay on the drops. I think the drops have been going a lot better for a lot of people recently, so that's always great to see. Jeremy, good morning. Good morning. Woo. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I would love to see stuff like that, kind of deals working out with future athletes. You never know what's going to happen in the future. I think Justin Turner showing that he's got that Star Wars NFT was just unbelievable. I mean, hopefully one day we see MLB players come out as NFTs and digital collectibles. I mean, I know for me, oh, man, I need more gems in my account for when that happens, for when sports rolls out. VeVe is partnering with the NFLPA, so NFL's kind of put a hold on NFTs just yet, but I think once they open up to it, we'll start seeing NFTs, digital collectibles from NFL players. You know, when I met Ricky Williams recently, I had to mention, hit up VeVe and Okomi. You know, since they're partnered with the NFLPA, I know for me as a big fan, I would buy a Ricky Williams digital collectible ASAP. You got a 5-minute warning. So Ricky, if you're listening, got to contact the Okomi VeVe team and, you know, work out some kind of deal, some kind of partnership. We need some NFL players, and you'd be one of my favorite ones to collect. You know, I need that secret rare Ricky Williams. Need some Dodgers NFTs, Justin Turner, Clayton Kershaw. Like, come on. Sky's the limit for the sports. Woke up just in time. Let's go, Austin. Good luck, everybody. Jimmy Bob, what's going on? It's definitely been a while. How we doing? J East Music, good luck, everybody. Got a few minutes left. We got 4 minutes, 12 seconds left. Memory says Topps NFTs has MLB. And yeah, so this is going to be a discussion, right? I mean, we've seen NBA Top Shot have NBA. Topps has MLB. But I think what the difference is, VeVe is going to be able to have digital collectibles and 3D augmented reality of these individual players, not so much the teams. Like, I don't think they have a deal with the NFL. They have to deal with the NFLPA, the Players Association. So we're going to see NFL players roll out on VeVe. I think in the future, we could see NBA players roll out on VeVe one day. I could see golf players, you know, people in the PGA Tour. If we see a Tiger Woods collectible drop, you guys may see a Walt on sale. I'm only kidding. I don't want to sell Walt. But I'm going to be adding in a lot of gems if that happens. And same with MLB. I think in the future, we could see an MLB digital collectible. I would love to see it. At the airport yesterday and saw so much IP on hats, bags, shirts by Disney, Marvel, DC. Not one Bored Ape. I mean, shout out to the Bored Apes out there and all the holders. I think they'll do okay. I mean, I'm wishing the best for them. I hope they do last long term. I hope every NFC project out there lasts long term, because the more people that get into different digital collectible NFTs, you know, different platforms, the better for the whole space. You know, the more and more it becomes digital collectibles. I think that's the problem. I wanted to make a video on this separately, but the branding of NFTs is so bad right now. Mainstream users think NFT, they think scam, animal pick, expensive, you know. They don't realize that it can be a digital collectible from their favorite brand. So let me get to the strategy real quick before we run out of time. Again, guys, what I like to do is count down with the timer. The buy now button is going to pop up 1 second after 0. Let me just make sure I'm not running out of time here. Okay. So I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes left for this. It stops lagging. All right, 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Might have been absolutely perfect timing right there. Maybe a little early, but I think it was perfect. So again, I'm clicking before I see buy now popping up. And if I know the buy now pops up 1 second after 0, I'm starting my click slightly before I even see the buy now. Now, again, you don't want to be too early because you can miss it. Too late, you could be too late. But if you time it right, I don't want to say you're guaranteed to drop, because there's been times where I timed it perfect and you still don't get it. But again, think about being a quarterback throwing a pass to a wide receiver slightly before he's open. That's an analogy I like to use because I think of it the same way. I'm starting my click, not when I see buy now and then I click. I'm starting my click before I even see buy now, starting it slightly before I see it. I stay in rhythm because you can kind of time it that way. Let me just do it one more time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Oh, that would have been money right there. Maybe a millisecond late, but less than a minute left. Shout out to all my coffee gators out there. I'm going to record this one. And I like to back out a little bit, meaning I'll back out and come back down. I do that because sometimes I feel like it's lagged on a certain second. So right now it's at 29 seconds. It feels all good. The second time I did that, 25 seconds. My hands are sweating. I'm going to get to more comments as soon as this is done. Good luck, everybody. Hopefully, we get a lot of dubs today. Whew. All right. Got to slow your heart rate down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. Nope, too early. But I got it still. All right, so it didn't sell out in a second. If this was like a drop a month ago, I might have missed it because I was too early right there. But we'll see what happens. I only went for one. Secret rare. Go for one. Hit a secret rare. 3-digit. I haven't had a 3-digit in a while. Talk gate. Alien gate. Ooh, 1,615. I like it. I like it. Let's go. All right. All editions have been sold out. Everybody got one, right? Who's not smashing the like, fam? Got to smash the like button. Bless the chat. Appreciate y'all big time. Appreciate that, Miss Rose. JD in the place to be. Let's go, Dodgers. Can you imagine a Kobe MJ NFT? Diego. Woo. You know, I have been envisioning this. Now, I'll talk about this. I'm going to save this comment. I'm going to just talk about the drop real quick, and I'll get back to that one. Because I definitely have a lot to talk about that one. We're basically pro footballers, except we're clicking buy now. All pro quarterbacks at this point. Johnny Dub only got one. Miss Rose got one. Getz got 4. Jeremy got 1. David got 1. Miss Rose said sold out. You got one, though, right? Yeah. You got one. I think the Getsy's using a few phones. Green Goblin got 2. Let's go. Yeah, Getsy's been crushing it. Shout out to Getsy. I think Disney World rejuvenated him. Wow, David's crushing it too. Z Brito got one. Let's go. We got all dubs today. Did anybody not get one? I feel really bad if anybody did not get one. JT, 2 dubs. Johnny West Coast got one. Josh B got one. JQ got one. Oh my gosh. Everyone's getting one. Also, amazing profile picture there. Tara Mcpherson art. I absolutely love her art. It's one of those where I wanted to complete the set because I would love an airdrop or any kind of utility provided with that. It's one of those artists where I had no idea who she was before VeVe. Found the art, liked it, but didn't want to spend the money on it. Kept looking at the art, the way it would be. Got to the point where I was like, okay, I need this. So eventually sold some things and I was able to grab that. Loving that piece. Bobby Green got one. Super Rush got one. Rich Buddy got one. Billy got one. Don't worry that you only got one. I mean, the fact that we got one is amazing. I don't know if you were here, Tariq, a little bit ago, like a couple months ago. People are struggling to even grab one, right? People were going months without grabbing one. So it's been a blessing to see people, even just get one. Alex got 2 dubs. Riley Pie landed one. Yeah, shout out to everyone going for the rebound. Again, if you guys, let's see here. All right, I'm going for a rebound. It's every 4 minutes, so I have a world clock up right now. It's 11:03, 44 seconds Eastern time. I'm going to try for a rebound here just to test it out. I've been struggling on rebounds because I usually don't go for them. So I don't really know my timing that well. Let's see here. I'm going to try to time it right on the dot. Oh, wow. I almost got it, it felt like. All right, so I didn't get it. But it's every 4 minutes. And again, you want to stay on the screen. You don't want to leave the screen. Once you went for the drop, you click buy now, confirmed. If you got it, stay on the screen. Once you leave and you come back in, the buy now may be disabled. And you can still get a rebound that way. You just kind of got to go back and come back in at the right time. It's a little bit harder that way. Only got 2 today. Oh, missed these comments. Everyone was all over this one. Absolutely, Christian J. Shout out to Comics and Crypto, Sleeping Comics. All the other comic gurus out there. If I'm missing your name, I feel like I should dive into more comic gurus out there. If you're a comic, enthusiast and you love the comics and you put out content on all comics, let me know so I can shout you out. My collectibles in the building. We got 2 for my collectibles. Let's go. Wishing you the best, my collectibles. Any good mint numbers you notice, or just some regular ones? Austin got 2. Energy got 1. Kent Dub. DG Vet got 2. Let's go. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I did see this actually. Also, I believe Nipsey Hussle. I saw something about Nipsey's, the marathon, because he has a brand and everything like that. I guess his estate is controlling it. But I was curious to see what was going on with the Nipsey Hussle NFT, because he was big into crypto before he passed, and just interesting because I felt like he'd be in this space big time for the whole music industry. Mr. Planet Prophet, I think you meant to say, why do I get so nervous? I'm a fully grown man. Tried again on the web app, got error. Don't think it's working on here yet. Yeah, I think it's still just being rolled out, like being sent to beta users and everything like that. But it's going to be rolling out for everyone. Sorry, still shaking now. These drops are crazy. They're intense. I've said it to a few people. Not so much lately after they fixed the whole bot issue and everything like that. But when that was going on and nobody could get drops and I was still landing these drops, like I said before, I don't think it registered for a lot of people because they just assumed I was botting too. I got a lot of backlash and everything like that. But now that it's coming out, I think people are starting to realize how legendary that run was because it was unbelievable. And like I was saying in the moment, I have never felt anything that replicated, being on the mound with bottom of the 9th inning, right? 3-2 count, bases loaded. You got 1 pitch. What are you going to do? You're going to strike them out, win the game? You're going to let up a walk, lose the game, a hit? That pressure moment is what I've thrived in. I've literally lived for those moments. And the only thing close to that would be in golf tournaments where every single, shot matters. Those pressure moments I absolutely love. But again, to go even grown men, Mr. Planet Profit, these VeVe drops, if it's a highly sought after item, if there's a lot of demand, popularity, I've never been able to recreate that feeling of being on the mound in college again, besides these VeVe drops. It gave me a high like never before. The 3 seconds, or I would say the 5-second window from like 5 seconds until the drop happens. It's the same feeling. Same feeling as getting called in, bases loaded, 2 outs. You're up by 1, 9th inning. Like, oh my gosh, those feelings. Unbelievable. A lot of L's on the rebounds. Wow, Triple X got 1. Let's go. I think so too. I've been kind of surprised that like the real users have been dropping the price. But I think over time, the more real people that get it, I think the healthier it is for the overall market. And what's happening right now too, I've noticed, is that we just have kind of a lack of liquidity, meaning a lot of times the real users are just selling stuff from the previous drops to get gems for the new drops, and it's kind of like a cycle that's repeating. But now that we have the web app, kind of just for a small group of users, once that's worldwide, everybody has it, that's going to be game changing. I think Foster Hill touched on this too. Shout out to Foster. He has great content in his videos too. He put a video out on the website, which is 100% true. What's going to happen is it's going to allow people to add in almost an unlimited amount of money without getting hit with the Apple tax, without being limited to 600 gems at a time or 600 gems a day or whatever it is, right? That kind of limits a lot of the liquidity. So that's going to be a big time change right there. MTL, once that's here, is after the KYC and after the website. Once MTL is here, I know my collectibles have touched on this aspect too. MTL is going to make it to where the mainstream average user is no longer afraid to put in money. I have friends right now that are afraid to put in $20 to go for a drop because they know they can't withdraw it just yet. So once they understand that this is liquidable and you can pull it out money once you get enough money, you can withdraw it. That's going to help the mainstream user really dive into this project, because you have to do a lot of research on your own to understand who the team is, all the brands to have on board, to understand that this isn't, a rug pull, a scam, to trust the process basically of what's going to happen in the future. But that's going to make it mainstream. People won't be afraid at that point. And then on top of that, on top of the website ability to add in gems without a limit, once we get that Omid NFT and now we have crypto involved, that's going to increase the value big time, I believe, on a lot of these things, to the point where a lot of these collectibles, comics may get out of reach, may not even be possible to own. There may not be any on the market, to where that's where renting comes into play. Because if you want that collectible, if you want the utility that comes with that collectible in Disney World or whatever the case is in the future, you may have to rent it out for a week or a day or a month type thing, right? So it's going to be definitely interesting to see what happens with that. My collectibles got his Doctor Strange ticket for 3 p.m. today. Let's go. Now, I don't know for sure, but there could be some kind of promo code involved with this Doctor Strange movie. Don't know all the details on that, but there's been teasers about it. So we'll see. My collectibles, have you heard any kind of info on that? I've been hearing a lot of things about that. Ah, okay. I feel like there probably is a lot of different regulations to figure out with people's estates. Man, I can't wait to make some alien merch. Did you go after the DC Funko NFTs yesterday? No, so I didn't go after them. Outdoor fishing. With my Funko collection, I feel like it's complete. I'm limiting it because I feel like with Funkos and my type of addictive personality, once I get started on that, I have, the Series 1 DC NFTs. I want to complete every single character. If I don't have the Joker, I'll go after the Joker. Like, it's like it's like an avalanche. Once you get started, it's hard to stop. So I think I've limited myself to all the Funkos that I really need. The only other ones that I would really want is the Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy comic one. That's the Walmart exclusive one. I have my Todd Batman comic Funko coming in soon. I have 2 of those. One I'm going to keep closed. One I'm going to open up and display right next to it. But yeah, I didn't go for any of those Funko NFTs. Shout out to everyone who did, who grabbed a Grail or anything like that. That's awesome. I did grab one of those, the Bat Cows, though. I did grab one of those. No rebounds. A lot of people are missing the rebounds. Red Sox first World Series was crazy. I don't know why you brought that up, but it definitely was unbelievable. This comic was scooped. Yeah, absolutely. VeVe vibes. I was surprised I actually got it because I was early. Let me show you guys the film real quick. Let me fast forward. It's about 10 seconds left. You're going to see how late I was. I did like one of my last ditch efforts. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. It's just a little late. 2, 1, 0. Bye now. I felt like it was delayed almost. I feel like they're almost tricking me sometimes. Like they're because my timing felt on point. Bye now. Maybe just I might have been a millisecond too soon. Yeah, chat having a hard time with his rebounds. It is strange that nobody's getting rebounds today. Shout out to Marcos, just replied on the YouTube community feed. Do you know more or less the price? Nope. Not yet. Medium article will be announced shortly, I assume. Stay tuned. What do you guys think the price is going to be for this one? I think the first battle statue was 120. Let me try to look at that. Find out for sure. Yeah, $120 was the price of the first battle statue. That was one of those drops that I think got botted hard. You know, it sold out immediately. I was fortunate. I still got one. This drop, and I think it was the Mickey Mouse NFT collection series 2, ultra rare. I got 3-digit mints on both, and those were 2 insanely hard drops. Where I got a 4-digit mint, but it was sequential in the Mickey Mouse one. I feel like VeVe updated the app, so when you get one on release, you can't get a rebound. I'm not sure, Kendrick Flores. Not positive on that. This is hilarious. My Collectibles said, a guy commented on my channel calling VeVe a rug pull. I told him he was watching the wrong channel because I'm all in. That's hilarious. You know, I think the negative people will stay away from your channel because you are, you know, all about VeVe too, My Collectibles. I feel like it's the same way with me. I think all the negative people, all the fudders have tried their best to try to FUD on the channel. And I think I'm just so positive it pisses them off. So they just don't come and try to FUD anymore. And My Collectibles, I feel like you're the same way too. You're almost like too positive to have fudders come on because they want a response, you know, they want people to get mad, angry. Like that's why they spend their time. Like think about it, right? That's what always interests me is that fudders, people who don't like the project or don't want to see it succeed or whatever the case is, right? Or who are frustrated or upset, they'll spend their time and energy on a channel who talks all about VeVe. And they'll stay for, you know, hours on videos and just to comment and spend their time trying to pull other people down. It's like, you must really love VeVe if you're spending your time doing all that. So it's hilarious to see My Collectibles. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check them out. XM Studios. Solid. Yeah, I think a lot of other platforms will start to get into this whole digital collectible space. Absolutely. Got one, wasn't expecting a sellout like that. I kind of wish I saw how fast it sold out. Because I didn't go for 2. I only went for 1. I am kind of surprised that this one sold out a lot quicker than the Star Wars, I think. Would you say? Because a lot of people got multiple on the Star Wars, and people only got 1 on this one. Some people got 2. Getsy got 4. But I would say majority probably only got 1 on this one. Would you guys say that this one probably sold out quicker than the Star Wars one? This one is more valuable, like more expensive in the real world for now. But I just see Star Wars #1 being absolutely iconic. You know, 616 is a huge mint number for any kind of Marvel NFT, I would say. Absolutely. How long does a rebound window last? Great question. Cluck Struck Crew. I feel like it all depends. Usually it's up until the market opens, and the market usually opens 30 minutes after the drop. So you can say it's probably done around like just before 11:30. I mean, I would keep trying the rebounds up until the market opens, really. Yeah, that's what I would do. Funko just sold 25% stake to a group that includes Bob Iger and Rich Paul. Oh, wow, that's big time right there. Yeah, I think Funko, you know, I think they're smart by diving into this whole digital space. Like I said, I think those Series 1 stuff will do well. Anything Series 1 tends to do well over time, especially as they continue to release more and more and more, and more people pile into this whole digital collectible space. It's so early still. I've said before where there's an NFL player in the combine in the draft or just got drafted. who talked about how he's in the NFTs, and some owners and some teams labeled that a red flag. Like, think about that. That's like saying, you know, in 1999 or 1990s that you created your own website and that's a red flag. It's like, it's not a red flag. It's being innovative, before your own time. Like I said, the branding, I want to make a video on this specifically because I think it's going to age very, very well. And because I think it's a huge topic that people need to hear. And I've learned too that most people don't tune into the 3-hour live streams, but I have fun making the long live streams, the long content. I should probably start to break it down and do clips of certain topics and stuff like that. I think that's what I'm going to start to do, is kind of talk in topics almost on my live streams and then break it down in the clips and post those clips. Just like what every other podcast does, like Joe Rogan, all those guys. But yeah, I think as we move into the digital space, more and more series are going to come out of the Funkos. I like the fact that they're partnering with those people. I believe Bob used to work for Disney back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. But for me, it's one of those things where once that cage opens, I'm going to be collecting them all. So I had to put a line through the sand. Funkos are done for me for a little bit. But the digital, Series 1 stuff, I think will definitely do well. First time getting a dub on a comic drop. Let's go. Oh, wow. Shout out to Alex Art. That's amazing. Can't get a rebound to save my life. Maybe they did something to the rebounds because a lot of people are striking out. My Spidey senses tell me that people are going to complain about bots today. It's one of those things where, this is how I see things. People, there's a lot of built up frustration. A lot of people have been here for months. Some delays have happened. Omi's down. Markets are down, right? So, like I said, they could drop Darth Vader tomorrow, right? And people are going to be pissed. Some people are going to be happy. Some people are still going to be pissed and saying, why are you dropping Darth Vader right now? Fix the drop system first, right? So you can't please everybody. And then if they drop an unimportant comic book tomorrow, there's going to be some people that say, yes, I get to save money, or, I get to go get a drop. And then there's going to be so many people that are pissed saying, drop something important, stop dropping garbage. So it's definitely one of those things where, either side of the spectrum, there's going to be people that complain. Just like Alex said, it's always something. Yeah. Absolutely. That's the way it is. I mean, that's the good thing. There's good things and bad things about having, the biggest fan base in the world as an NFT project platform. You have to meet the needs of so many more people to where you can't please everybody, right? Tons of people that are going to be complaining. But for the most part, I think people understand that, whatever direction VeVe goes, they feel like it's the best for the project. So that's what I have faith in. Good to know, too. I forgot about this Sun Eater. Yeah, Star Wars did have 1.5x the amount. I think there was almost maybe 50,000 editions for that Star Wars drop. Let me just double check here. Today was a 30,000 edition drop, your typical standard. Star Wars was, 44,000. So 45, 50,000, a little bit more. I didn't think people would, put a... We'll see what the prices come out in the market, but I thought maybe today would have been a possibility for people to get multiple. I think a lot of people expected Star Wars to get bot eaten. Since it didn't, people knew that they could go for this comic today. VeVe is healthy and strong. Let's go. Shout out to my collectibles once again. I kind of agree with that. That's a great point right there, brother. I think a lot of people might have been maybe hesitant to go for that Star Wars drop because they thought, it was going to get botted. And then they go for this drop because they see, okay, last drop didn't get botted, or at least not as bad. Maybe it still does, and VeVe's doing a good job of kind of reducing the issue. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Oh, good mint number. Curious, Green Goblin or Pluto card? Ooh, J.O., great question. Let me talk about both of them here. So Pluto is the Disney lenticular card, first edition Pluto, ultra rare, right? Green Goblin FA. I'm going to lean towards the Green Goblin FA. Now, maybe I'm biased. I do have one Green Goblin FA. I don't have the Pluto Disney card. I do want to get those Disney lenticular cards. I mean, right now is a great opportunity to grab them because they are extremely low. I remember when I was saying at least every single one will go over 1K. I still do believe that long term, but obviously everything went down in the whole market. I'm gonna lean FA Green Goblin JO, but I think both are gonna do amazing. The reason why I'm leaning Green Goblin is because we all kind of are speculating that there's a Marvel Mighty's game possibly in the future, whether that's on the VeVe app or you can maybe send these NFTs to another platform and then play the game. We don't really know the exact details yet, and we're speculating. But if that ends up happening, I think that's going to be iconic. All those, high-end FA Marvel Mighties are going to be big time if that's the case. And even if there's not a game, I think the FA of a big-time villain, a Spider-Man villain. I mean, Green Goblin is someone that I knew prior to VeVe. And I kind of use my lack of knowledge in the superhero realm and everything like that as almost like my advantage. Because the fact that I don't know a lot of these big-time characters, the ones that I do know, if I know about them, I know how big they are. Like Catwoman. I know how big Catwoman is. I've known about Catwoman. So like, if I know about Catwoman, everyone in the world knows Catwoman. Same with Green Goblin. Green Goblin's iconic. When I think of Spider-Man villains, I think of Green Goblin. So I think and it's made really well too. Pluto's going to do good. It's first edition. The reason why I love those lenticular cards is because I think there's going to be tons of those, right? I think there'll be Series 10 eventually. So to have the Series 1 Mickey and Friends first edition cards, I think they're going to be a big deal. Just personally, I'd rather have the Green Goblin. That's why I do have one right now. But I do want to get the Pluto card too. I'm going to get all those cards. Someone will always find something to complain about. Excuse me. Absolutely, Alex. And I completely agree with that. When the markets were booming, January, February, people weren't complaining about that stuff, And I think that has to do with a lot of that built-up frustration. I've been here since March of 2021. It feels like 3 years now. But at the same time, it feels like 4 months ago. So it's a weird dynamic that it feels like both, But I think because of that, there's a lot of other people that have been here for maybe a year plus even maybe even just, a handful of months. And so I think when the delays happen, Omi's down, VeVe market's down, still up from when I joined, but from when I think most people joined, I think it's down. So I think there's a lot of frustration, a lot of built up frustration. And so because of that, it's almost like no matter what VeVe says, there's going to be a group of people that say, boo, right? But I think it takes the OGs and it takes the people that have been here. Even if you're not OG, I mean, if you've been here for a while and you've been here for the ups and downs, you've seen the, down markets. I think it takes people like that to come out and talk about it, because if you just joined in January and February, you might have not have dealt with, a lull period, a stagnant market. You may think it's quote unquote over or whatever the case is, right? Like I remember before we even had Marvel comics, before we even had Marvel, before we had Marvel license, Disney license or anything like that, I think it was maybe April, May of last year. Whenever the DeLorean drop happened and we had 50,000 editions of the common, there's many people that thought VeVe was dead. VeVe was sinking, right? Like people tried getting me to think that VeVe was sinking. And I got in arguments with people because I wasn't believing what they were believing. And so some people blocked me. Some people, got mad, upset, saying other projects look way better, etc. And then as soon as Marvel got announced and they said we have comic books and we have the Marvel license, shout out to Kyle Wilson. I think Kyle was the one that broke Dan Crowther's talking about we have Marvel, right? Iconic time. I remember Kyle was like rewinding it, playing it, and we were all doing it. We were like, oh my gosh, because it's kind of low key. Dan Crothers was doing an interview and he just mentioned that, yeah, we have Marvel now. And we were all like, oh my gosh. They just announced Marvel. And then we saw all the people that said VeVe was done. VeVe was sinking. VeVe was ruined. We saw all of them jump right back on and talk about how great VeVe is. And then after Marvel Comics happened, it was kind of like, oh, this app is all Marvel, right? Kind of like what you just saw now. This app is all Disney. people kind of got tired with that, right? It just kind of goes to show the human psychology, human emotion in it. People are excited, then they get bored with it. It's kind of like we've been spoiled, right? And then, towards the end of the summer, there's a lot of more FUD. People said it lost momentum again. People said they're not real NFTs. Pre-Disney, right? Then the Disney announcement happens in November. Things go absolutely crazy. January, all-time highs. February, still all-time highs, comes back, retraces from the all-time highs, still above where we were last May, last summer completely. But, we just took a retracement. And so we're in that little lull, stagnant period again. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but in my opinions, a handful of months from now, we'll be looking back at some of these prices and just laughing at them. The same way that we're laughing at the prices from last summer. Superman was $150. Like, unbelievable. I think Todd just reached 300. So, like, crazy time, guys. Crazy times. Vault pulled the secret rare. Wow, let's go. Shout out to the Vault. That's amazing. Shout out to anyone else who pulled a secret rare. I don't think anybody's got delivered yet. Spoke too soon. I got another comment. So I'm in the comment gang today. Pretty solid mid number, 1,615. It's crazy. My polls have been like commons or ultra rare. It's like nothing in between. I'll take it. Market's open. All right, secret rare. There's one available. Let's go for 5,000. Smart move. Smart move. Now be careful buying this. Because there's only one available. I'm gonna follow the person. Their bio is not sure what I'm doing. I guess it was their first drop. 0 collectibles. Solid first drop. All right, ultra rare. There's only like 6 or 7 of these, down to 250, 285, 300, 500. You have the rare going for 44. Now that seems cheap for this one. But again, there's only a few listed. Uncommon. Someone's selling for $765. But then it goes to 15, and then 20. The common is $760, $780, $799. Now, one of the few times where I think that could be, if you get this comic for the under retail or at retail, I think it could be a steal. I'd be surprised to see this comic go under retail, but we don't really know. So we're just weeding out the fudders. Patience will pay off. Absolutely, Ken W. Absolutely. I mean, just think about it, guys. Todd McFarlane Batman stayed in store, in stock for 5 months. Just think about that, right? Nobody knew. Nobody knew how important, how valuable, how, they didn't see the vision back then. It dropped October 2020, November 2020, December 2020, January 2021, February 2021, March 1st, 2021. There's over 6,000 Todd McFarlane Batmans in store, in stock 5 months later. Now, obviously, we only had 8,000, 9,000, just under 10,000 users at that point. And that's why people are telling me I was crazy, losing my mind. They were telling anybody buying Tides. I know Pirates, Chad was buying Tides like crazy. People were calling us crazy back then because Todd had 7,500 editions. Way too many editions, people said. More editions than there are people on the app. I was like, exactly. So capitalize on that. You think there's only going to be 7,500 people here? Like, I was telling people there's going to be hundreds of thousands of users eventually. And people are just like, John, you sound like a Moon Boy. And that's where the first Moon Boy, I first got called Moon Boy. A lot of people got called Moon Boys back then. And we all see where Todd's at now, where it's gone. And so I truly believe we're just kind of in that little FUD cycle once again. Even Risa said this is the most bullish time for VeVe. But a lot of things are, factoring in, worldwide chaos a little bit. Crypto markets down as a whole. People are frustrated, built up. I think it's a built up frustration. That's what it feels like, of delays happening. People don't want to hear about delays. People don't want to hear the market's down, etc. Sun Eater said, let me get one first. Oh man, 206 mint for 7 gems. Again, guys, if you guys are new and maybe you got a common, don't think a common's automatically not valuable. The mint number, the edition number will mean a lot. The common is down below retail 660, 685. I think that's an absolute steal. Ultra rares at 159. The rares at 34. The uncommons at 12. The secret rares up to 850. Solid. Oh, we got VeVe Vaults. Let's go. I see Vault. Braylon's dad in there. Solid move. Letting it go. Thinking it's probably going to drop. I think long term it will go up, but short term there's just so many that have to get distributed to where it could definitely be a solid idea letting anything go right away and then having that price drop and then buy back. We have 350 out of 500 secret rares to be delivered still. We have 14.2K out of 20.9K left commons to be delivered still. So again, if you're new and you want to figure out how you can see this, go to the store tab where we just were for the drop, click on that latest drop, scroll down, and from here, you can see the different rarities with the numbers here. 14.1K out of 20.9K left commons. Uncommons, 3.3K out of 4.9K left. What that means is there's that many comics still left to be distributed to people. And that many people have yet to put it in the market for sale. So typically, not saying this happens every single time, but typically when this happens, price starts out pretty high and then works its way down to where maybe a floor that people feel like a floor is when they all get distributed. And then the ones that have demand usually go back up. Secret rare down to 777. Ultra rares at 150. Rares at 35. Uncommons at 8. Commons are at 7. Shout out to Sun Eater. My secret rare got lost in the mail, so they gave me another common until they can find it. Shout out to Chasing Sundays. Only bad investors call people moon boys. I would say, yeah, I don't want to criticize the people that did call me moon boys. I think it's just people that maybe did a lack of research to see how big this project was really going to be. Because you got to think of how many people actually found it beforehand, right? There's a lot of people that did find it early. They might have just not have seen the long-term vision of how big this is going to be. When I found it, I thought I was late. When I found it in March, I thought I was late. I thought this is going to be by summertime. I thought it was going to be crazy big. So I was just trying to hurry up, grab everything I possibly could, was telling the world about it. It's crazy to see everything develop because I was spamming. I'll talk about this too. Because a lot of times people just talk about how it's such an easy narrative to paint because I am, pretty much, highly invested in this project. People think, Johnny, you're just talking about VeVe because you're all in. And it's like, you might have a lot of, research to do because if you think that, and a lot of people do think that, I've seen that narrative kind of painted a lot. It's easy to paint that narrative to say that, but people don't realize or they don't want to realize that I was actually telling the entire world about VeVe and how it's the future and telling Gary Vee, spamming his comments, spamming comments on YouTube, anyone who was in the NFTs or any kind of space, Top Shot even. I was telling them all about VeVe before I put $1 into the VeVe app. So for anyone else out there who doesn't realize that it's the exact opposite of the narrative they're trying to paint, I was telling the word about how great VeVe is before I put $1 into it. And then finally I was putting in money. And it's crazy because people found out about VeVe from those comments. And I had no idea it was actually working. But it takes people with open minds. So many people could have saw those comments. What's VeVe and not even care, right? But it took people with open minds, like Cavell Anderson. Shout out to Cavell, man. Because look what's blossomed from it, right? Look how big of a, influence Cavell is, right? Huge. One of the biggest YouTubers in the whole community, right? And he found those comments on Gary Vee's Instagram March 1st. Early March. I don't know if it was exactly the 1st, but early March because it was days of me doing that. And he didn't have a closed mind, like most people would and say, digital NFTs, like, what are you talking about? He saw the word VeVe and was like, okay, what's this VeVe? And Googled it. He said he found Batman on the website and dove right in down the rabbit hole. And that's what hooked me too, is when you went on the website, you saw something that you loved, right? And he said, wow, that's an NFT. Let me dive into this project. And so he dove into it with an open mind, did his research, and found exactly what I was finding. Like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And so just think about that, right? That's what happens from an open mind. And so, absolutely. I think it's just people that have a closed mind. They don't want to do the research. It's easy. It's really easy to call someone the moon boy. You know, you're talking crazy, right? It's a lot harder to say, okay, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm uneducated about that. Let me dive into it myself and get educated. Most people have egos, and so that kind of hurts their ego saying, I don't know anything about this. Let me dive into it. But that's what it takes. And that's why I love people who are already, quote unquote, successful, like Lewis Morgan and all these other different, you know, Justin Turner. Shout out to Justin Turner and everyone else that, you know, is already, quote unquote, successful, who's into the VeVe app already, because it takes an open-minded person who doesn't have an ego to really dive into something they don't know anything about. Lewis Morgan, you know, whatever his net worth is, unbelievable, right? He had to say, okay, what is this new space that's happening right now? It feels on fire. Don't really know much about it just yet, but I'm going to know everything about it. So then you read, you do your homework, do your research, watch all these videos. And so you learn about it, and then you come up with your decision. Maybe you still don't like it, and that's perfectly okay. You know, maybe it's not for you. But the people who see the vision, the people who see where this space is going, are able to capitalize on a crazy moment in time right now. And that's where I just see it, Shamara, is I think it's just people that kind of either uneducated, don't want to get educated on it, kind of have that standoffish ego. Like, I try to be a sponge with everything, try to learn every new project that's coming out, and then I decide if I like it or if I don't like it, etc. Anyone else get your device doesn't meet security requirements? What should I do? So Diane C, I've gotten this message too before, and so many other people have. Now, if it just pops up randomly and you can still use the app, I don't think there's anything you really need to do. If this pops up, excuse me, and you can't use the VeVe app, then there may be an issue, not even on your end, maybe just sometimes it's like an accident. You get caught up in the mess of everything. If you can't use the VeVe app, you may have to do something like restart it. I'll try to figure out exactly what you need to do. But let me know if you can still use the VeVe app, Diane C, because if you just got that message popping up, it really won't mean that much. Ooh. Another one. Green Goblin or Pizza Planet truck? Ooh. Love Pizza Planet truck because it's a Disney golden moment of that first week. First ever Pixar NFTs. Man, Green Goblin's a good one, though. It's hard for me to pass up those Disney golden moments. Like, the way I treat those Disney golden moments is just adding them and just sitting on them. I think it's such a safe play. It may not have the volatility as like a, you know, quick boom type thing. I think if anything, maybe Green Goblin might have the short-term, quicker volatility boom. All it takes is a game. All it takes is one game to be announced for those Marvel Mighties, and they will skyrocket. Because who would not want to play with one of the top Spidey villains in that game, right? Now, Pizza Planet Truck may be more of that long-term safety net play, just because it's Disney. First week ever of the Disney golden moments, I think, will be iconic. I have one of each of these, J.O. Trying to decide if I had to sell one, which would I rather sell? I think for me, long-term play is the Disney golden moments. Now, short-term play, I mean, we could get a game announced, maybe, I say soon, as in like the next handful of months, maybe, possibly. I have no idea. But I just think there's more of a short-term boom, possibly, with those Green Goblin, with the Green Goblin FA. Now, if Disney came out and said some kind of crazy utility, then those golden moments will skyrocket. But I think the utility play for the Disney brands may be a little bit more longer term after they see some of these, you know, different artist collectible utility kind of roll out. I think the artist utility will kind of be an example to showcase these bigger brands of what they could do. like we've seen with the Mac on deck and all that kind of stuff. It's a tough one, J.O. Because I have one of each, I'm trying to think of which one I'd rather let go, like I was saying. And I would probably rather let go of the Green Goblin. But it'd be tough. I wouldn't want to do that, you know. I want to hold it, but I can't let go of the Disney Golden Moment first week. I have been thinking about letting go of my duplicate Homer, but it's the first ever Disney moment. And that's something, like me right now, I'm trying to get liquidity from some of my collectibles, but it's like, it's a good position to have, good problem. It's like my duplicates are almost too good to let go just right now, to where I'm trying to find a duplicate that I want to let go, but I don't want to let go of those Disney Golden Moments. Ling has two secret rares, same mint, 1196. Is that a glitch? Let's take a look. Ling is at the very bottom, selling it for 10K. 1196. What is the other one they're selling? It might be a glitch on your end or something like that. I only see one Ling in the marketplace. Maybe close the app and restart it. See if you're still seeing that. I love being called a moon boy. I'll wear my spacesuit and laugh. My collectibles, I love you, brother. That's hilarious. I feel the same way. You know, speaking of that, speaking of spacesuits, we got our official moon boy landing right here from Andrea. We should do a live stream and put on spacesuits. Like the official moon boy stream. It's hilarious. But absolutely, you know, there's a lot of times where people we're putting jokes out there, you know, drinking the VeVe Kool-Aid, you know, moon boys. And it's like, it's easy to laugh at that because for me, and kind of like you too, my collectibles, just like you said, I'm glad people call me a moon boy. And I think, like I said, it's that built up frustration that people deal with, that maybe they're frustrated with delays, marketing, or how the market's down a little bit. You know, they want to kind of criticize other people, say, you know, they're just drinking the VeVe Kool-Aid or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm glad I drank the VeVe Kool-Aid because I would have never had the collection I do now without it. I might have made the VeVe Kool-Aid. Like, that's what people don't realize, right? It's like, if I didn't drink the VeVe Kool-Aid or if I didn't become a moon boy, I wouldn't have had $100,000 plus collection. Like, I would have been only at 5 collectibles because I didn't believe in it or whatever. It's like, now this is life-changing. Not only is it just what the collection is worth right now, but it's like there's so many opportunities in this now. Like, because of the whole Master Collector program and everything like that, and my collection is what it is now, I truly believe to where I'll be able to get partnerships, get sponsorships with Coca-Cola, with maybe Marvel, with maybe Disney, who knows? But with these big brands, I think it allows all the content creators out here, all the influencers, you know, as we continue to grow, to become, you know, have sponsorship deals, partnerships with these big brands. And then I'll probably come out with the VeVe Kool-Aid NFT and say, you know, I'm glad I drank the VeVe Kool-Aid. I'm glad I was a moon boy when most people were laughing at me saying, like, what are you doing buying Todd's too many editions, right? It's like, it is what it is, you know? But saying that, I think most of the time people understand that we have a long-term vision for this, you know? We don't think things are just going to be Ready Player One tomorrow. Like, it's going to take probably years to unfold. It's so early. Like I said before, we're not even in the digital collecting age, I don't think, yet, to where people just think of NFTs. I think NFTs will always be here because it's that technology. The foundation behind it all is what's game-changing. But I think as we move into this collectible NFT space, NFTs will kind of be like that buzzword that people don't use anymore. The technology behind it will always be here, right? So it still will be used. But for collectibles, I think the buzzword will be digital collectibles. Do you have that digital collectible from your favorite brand? Right now, I want to make a video, like I said before earlier in the stream, on this really badly. Because I'll probably make it today or tomorrow. So it's just one of those things I want to get out there. It's been on my mind lately. I keep saying it, a whole bunch of group chats and all the things, but I just wanted to be out there. The branding of NFTs is so bad right now. And I mean that by, I think majority of the users, mainstream users, if you take someone walking down the street right now, what's an NFT? If you ask them that, they're probably going to say that scam or like an expensive animal picture or something like that. We all know in this space that it's so much more than that, right? But That's what I mean by the branding. That's what people think of right away. When you ask someone driving down the street, a parent who doesn't really know about this space, or even, anybody, they're going to automatically assume NFT is some kind of scam or some kind of expensive animal picture because that's all they see. Like I said, we know it's way more than that. Once that branding starts to change and people think NFT, a digital collectible from your favorite brands of all time, that's that branding that's going to shift. And when it shifts, the whole culture is going to change. Now it's digital collectibles from your favorite brands. Like, I can't stop saying that because it's not here yet. That's just what some of us have been saying in the community. But like I said, when you talk about NFTs, go ask, people in your family who may not understand this space, what's an NFT, and kind of hear their reaction to it. Once you start telling them that you can get a digital collectible of your favorite brand of all time, and that's an NFT, they'll start to have that aha moment over time. And as that aha moment over time happens to many more people, like we all had that moment a year ago, or maybe months ago if we're just joining, right? But we had it. Some people, it's going to take years because they've never thought about it that way. So that's what I'm trying to do, is change that culture, change that shift, the way people think of it. I've always been pretty good at branding things. And so that's why you always see me talk about premium licensed digital collectibles. That was a meme at first. Everything got released. People used to say, Johnny, is this premium licensed digital collectible? And I can laugh at it because it is funny, right? I have hashtags PLDC. And I kind of do that as like jokes, but it's like, it's part of the whole branding aspect. Anytime you see me post VeVe Okomi, what's right after that? Premium licensed digital collectibles. I'm helping brand VeVe NFTs, not just NFTs, but a digital collectible in premium digital format from your favorite brands of all time. So I want to make some videos on that because I feel like I can just really help shift that narrative, the culture, basically. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, this space is so new to where like NFT gaming is like just coming out. I think it's going to be a huge part of it. One thing that I think of right away when I think of those AAA games like the NFTs is Illuvium. I think that's a great project too. I think that's going to probably do well in the future. Like, it's such an early time right now to where it's before digital collecting becomes obvious. Like, it's still like, is it a fad? It's crazy that we're still in this period of time because all of us are like, dude, like, it's not a fad. This is the future. And we all know that, but we're in this like micro community right now. I mean, it's one of the biggest communities in the world in this space, but the space itself is small. Crypto is small. The amount of people that are in NFTs in crypto is small. So it's like so many things are going to play out in the future to make digital collecting seem so much more obvious. Did you ever find this out, NFTs? I think it's probably just a glitch. Johnny, can you invite me into your server, please? Trump. Funny username. I don't want to get the video banned or anything like that. Having this name in here. How are we doing? What do you mean by server? Invite me into your server. What do you mean by this, Trump? It's crazy you have to even just watch what you say. Like, this person's name. Got a dub. Shout out to you. Did you just get one or two of them? I have the same feeling with my duplicate sorcerer hats. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's like when you have these big duplicates, it's like it's amazing you have duplicates, but you just don't want to let them go too soon. That's a good thing that it is a duplicate, though, because if you let it go too soon, you still have one, right? So, yes, it was removed. Good to know. Good to know. Jesus. I think Mighty and Disney cards will get utility in some form because why would they put FAs in these kind of collectibles if they have no plans with them? Just opinions. I think the Disney cards are listed as FEs just to make sure. But yeah, J.O. I mean, even the Disney cards. I was talking about the utility with the Mighty Marvels, but even the Disney cards could have some kind of utility, right? We don't know for sure. Kind of just speculation at this point. I think the big brands have every incentive to make a game out of it because they're going to make money on the transactions, right? On the renting, on all the fees in the marketplace and everything like that. I'm going to go over some of these prices. Let's see here. We got the secret rare going up to $9.85. We got the ultra rare going up to $178. We got the rare at $47. We got the uncommon at $19. We got the common at $9.50. So it is above retail. I thought retail was going to be pretty low for this comic book. We got a common today. Shout out to my collectibles. A good mint number or just a common? Why are he ignoring my comment? I meant Discord server. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll add you to the Discord server if you want. Not trying to ban you. Right now the Discord's kind of like a private Discord. I haven't really made it public just yet. I can add you if you want. Right now I'm just making it kind of like invite only. I haven't been too active in there either. I want to kind of make sure I set it all up and everything before I make it a public Discord. Also, we tell our close friends and family because we want them to succeed with us, but they don't understand that investments take time. The 10,000x, absolutely, right? And that's the thing. Man, my allergies starting to kick my butt right now. I don't know if it's allergies or what in here, but it's getting pretty bad. I felt like it was under control for the first little bit, but now it's getting kind of wild. Oh, Christian J, you're not in there? Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you guys want an invite to the Discord, you haven't got an invite yet, definitely just send me a DM on Twitter. Yeah, Christian J, I'll definitely get you in there, my man. One of my loyal followers. Let's go. Shout out to all the super followers out there. But yeah, to touch on this real quick, I definitely agree. It's one of those things where we do want our whole family, friends to get in, and then they come in. Some of them do come in, and they might get upset like, well, things just went down or things aren't booming like you said. It's like, well, you might have joined a little bit later than when we were first telling you to get in, but if you just got in recently and things did dip, it's just the ebb and flow, you know, just like stock market goes up, down, nothing just goes up forever, right? Anytime we see a huge run up, there's probably going to be a retracement. We just don't know when it's going to happen. And that was kind of the issue that happened in January, right? We thought there would eventually be a retracement. We just didn't know when it was going to happen. And right now we're just in the what a lot of people are calling the accumulation period, accumulation phase. Can you put invite in bio for some time, then remove it? I don't have Twitter. Do you have Instagram, Trump? It's like buying Dogecoin under a penny, but a lot better. I agree, Sun Eater. I mean, just imagine if Dogecoin was tied to the biggest brands of all time in digital premium format. Like, it would be unbelievable, right? What happened was ease of access happened. Coinbase. But before Coinbase, Robinhood. And then people like Elon talking about it. So just imagine, you know, when VeVe gets on these major exchanges. If you look at how many exchanges Dogecoin is on compared to OMI, it's going to be, you know, crazy, right? So it's unbelievable. Nope, you don't have Twitter. You said you don't have Instagram, just Discord. Wow, okay, so you don't have any other social media. You're just on Discord. So the reason why I've been keeping it private is because I felt like there's a lot of people who do bots and everything like that that are trying to figure out which drops to hit and everything like that. So they're following a lot of influencers and content creators, and they're trying to get an overall sentiment to figure out which ones they should bot. So I've been kind of hesitant to just make it public because I felt like maybe one of them have already joined the Discord, so I blocked them because they were asking me all types of questions like that I felt like was a little bit off. Yeah, it's hilarious, right? But that's the only reason why I made it private. It's just because I don't want everyone to join because I don't know who everyone is just yet. And so, yeah, nothing personal. It's just I want to kind of limit the people that are in there. I kind of made it a little bit public. And then I felt like a couple of people joined that may have, you know, been in with the bots because it felt like they were asking me my perception to see if they could try to target the drop. So I want to keep it kind of limited right now, just a little bit. I'll definitely get back to you, Christian. Absolutely. Nobody wanted to buy it back then, right? And then the ease of access is there. The FOMO hit big time worldwide. Oh, yeah, okay. You're definitely a patient hodler then. And the thing about this is, right, that can give you maybe clarity or confidence in the future is when you're tied to the biggest brands in the world, right? Disney, Marvel, like just unbelievable, right? They aren't going to just be into something for a quick cash grab. You know, they're all about making a legacy. They're about long-term plans. So the fact that we don't even just have a segment of Disney's portfolio. We have Disney's entire IP. Think about how legendary that is, right? Like, reset it perfectly. VeVe is digitizing decades worth of content from the biggest brands in the world. Think about that. It's so mind-blowing when you simplify it into what exactly VeVe is doing. Because there's so many distractions out there, right? It can be easy to think or get tempted to believing some of the FUD or anything like that, the negativity. And when you think about it in just a simple fact like that, VeVe is digitizing decades worth of content from the largest 250 plus brands in the world. This is revolutionary. This has never happened before in the history of the entire world. And it's happening right now on a simple and fun to use app called VeVe. This is game changing, guys. Like, unbelievable time that we're in right now. It's going to take time to really unfold. Like, we're in the midst of it, so it's kind of hard to zoom out and see it happening, but so cool. My son now has 20 comics, still waiting on his deliveries today too. Hoping he gets a secret rare. Let's go. Man, my collectibles is setting up his son for a future of dominance. That's also nice getting into it this early. What's going on, YouTube 671? I just got a comment today. Kind of a low man comment, but not a 3-digit comment. Let's see. Secret Rare is back up to 1K. It's kind of exactly how I anticipated this drop. Start kind of below 1K and then work up past 1K. Prediction spot on for that one. We got the ultra rare moving up 190. We got the rares at 43. I think the rares are super undervalued right now, especially if the ultra rare is at 180, 190. Uncommons at $18.99, and the common is at $9.29, then $11. My mint number today is 1,615. Nothing crazy, but a 1,000 mint. Wow, Paul, thanks for getting the details on this. Doge is on 397 exchanges. Holy cow. Like, think of how little Omi is on, right? I mean, just imagine when that happens. I'm not saying this is going to happen right away, especially in the short term, but just imagine when finally it's on Coinbase, when it's on Binance. It's going to be game-changing. It's going to be unbelievable. That's when I start to see people like Elon Musk probably talk about Omi. Because imagine if he talked about it right now. Imagine if Elon, Logan Paul, all these guys, right, talked about Omi. It would pump a little bit. It wouldn't pump nearly as much if they said that when we're on Coinbase, when we're on Binance and everything like that. And to go over one step further, why it's probably waiting even longer. Think about if we're on Coinbase right now, Binance right now, and then Logan and Elon talk about it. Yeah, it would pump. But then what? After a couple of days, after a couple of weeks, it would probably dump because there's no reason to hold Omi just yet. So the combination of everything, when it all happens, guys, we're going to be in the best spot because we've been here collecting Omi. Once we have utility for Omi, once the staking's rolled out, once Omi to NFT is rolled out, once we're on Coinbase, Binance, these major exchanges, that is when I see Elon talking about Omi. That's when I see Logan Paul talking about Omi. Probably even Gary Vee at that point, right? We're going to see all these major influencers start talking about it, along with Disney, Marvel, Pixar, Warner Brothers. Like, they're going to be promoting Omi and VeVe. So it's only a matter of time. And when things pop off, everybody who fudded, everybody who kind of gave up, kind of questioned it, they're all going to be jumping back on and talking about VeVe. It's just right now there's a little lull period, stagnant. There's not too many exciting things going on except for the fact that we just dropped amazing IP, right? People get spoiled. People get like, oh, yeah, another Star Wars collectible, another Disney collectible. just because we've been here. It was a dream to have Marvel and Disney and Star Wars on the app. Now we're getting on the reg and people are kind of, just taking it as it is. But it's like, this is game-changing stuff right now. For the first time in history, Star Wars is being digitized. Unbelievable. Let's go. Diane C got back in. Everything works well. It is definitely a panic when, anytime you close out or anything like that. Just shout out to Gio. Gio just said an 8,888 common just went for 9 gems. Oh my gosh. Man. It's one of those things where, guys, even if you're new, take a look at the edition number. Just because it's a common doesn't mean it's not valuable. It could be a common 3-digit mint. It could be a common 4-digit mint. If they're all the same, if they're important, maybe it's a year that the first appearance came out in, or like Strange Tales. If you had 1951, that would be a huge deal, right? So take a look at those edition numbers. They can mean a lot. A lot of people saw the 888 mint. That's a solid mint right there. Yeah, shout out to Z Brito. I can just tell you, I ain't no bot for sure. Well, good to know. Good to know. Ooh, okay, my collectibles. Good to know. Since I own the secret rare, I'm selling my low mint Star Wars #1 to go after the ultra rare of today's comic. Okay, not a bad idea there. I still was looking to get a 3-digit Star Wars original cover common. I did want to get one of those. And I do have the secret rare, so interesting there. But yeah, not a bad idea. To get an ultra rare of this comic, definitely pretty solid. I mean, this comic's technically worth way more than what the Star Wars #1 comic is. But I think over time, Star Wars #1 will go up in value. 4-digit ultra rare for JT. Let's go. My son had the Star Wars secret rare. I think it's time I start charging him rent. Shout out to Jeremy. Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad your son hit something really good there. My guy is scared to give out his Discord server or what? Yeah, pretty much, just because I don't want random people joining right now. Once I have mods set up and everything like that, I will get it organized. But like I said, I kept it private right now just because I felt like all types of people were joining. And I felt like a couple people might have joined that may have been in with the bots because I felt like they were trying to get my perception if they should be going for the drop or not to feel like it was important. So like I said, I'm keeping it pretty limited right now. But if I do know you and you've been a supporter for a while, definitely shoot me a DM like Christian did, and I'll definitely add you guys to the Discord. We just got some people in there right now just chilling, hanging out. Nothing really crazy set up or anything like that. What do you think will happen to layer 2 NFT markets like OpenSea and Rarible when Coinbase NFT? I guess you mean when that comes out. I think it's all going to be integrated, right? I think Coinbase NFT, I did sign up for that. I was a beta user of that one. But like I said, I think all that stuff is going to be great because it's just going to bring more and more people that are into the crypto world into NFTs. Like, think about it. Such a few amount of people in the world are into crypto right now, right? Just a small percentage of the entire world's into crypto. A small percentage of those people into crypto are into NFTs right now. That's how small this whole space is. So the more people that are into crypto get into NFTs, that's great. I think platforms like VeVe are going to get the mainstream people who aren't even into crypto into NFTs. So imagine that dynamic, right? The small percentage of people that are hardcore into crypto is such a small number, but such a small number of that is into NFTs. So platforms like Coinbase NFT are going to be huge, I think, in getting the whole crypto markets into the digital collecting industry, into that whole space of NFTs. And then apps like VeVe are going to do kind of like, they're not really going to focus on the crypto side of people right away. Like, it's getting your mainstream average person who's not into crypto into the NFT space. And it's kind of opening the floodgate doors into crypto. And so it's all going to be intertwined, I believe. We're just watching it all unfold in real time, which is pretty crazy to see. sometimes it's important to kind of take a step back and zoom out and see how far we've came and kind of this whole space as a whole, because we're all in the micro, we're all in the midst. Every hour, every 10 minutes, every minute, really, people are checking their phones constantly. So I think it's important to kind of take a step back and just look at the macro as a whole. Shout out to Punch. Spell check. I meant layer 1. Oh, okay. Let me read this over again. What do you think will happen to layer 1 NFT markets like OpenSea and Rarible when Coinbase NFT? Okay, so you mean like what's going to happen to those layer 1 NFT markets once Coinbase NFT and once the whole shift goes to layer 2? I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think it's going to be eye-opening to see how much more successful these layer 2 solutions are. And a lot of people are thinking too, it's going to take time, but I think markets like VeVe are going to expand like crazy. I think there's going to be so many people that come from either Coinbase NFT marketplace, OpenSea, Rarible, Immutable, like all these other platforms. I think are going to, over time, really start to use the VeVe marketplace. Think about it this way, right? Why do so many people love these NFTs on OpenSea and all these other platforms? Maybe it's because of the NFTs. Majority of the people use it because it's liquidable, meaning you can invest in something and then if it booms, you can cash out. It's liquidable. On VeVe, it's not liquidable right now. So there's a friction, there's a barrier. What's going to happen when the VeVe marketplace on the web app opens up? People can convert their ETH to OMI, connect it to the wallet, and go shopping. And everybody has MTL. And people can enter fiat at an unlimited rate without the Apple tax. All these VeVe NFTs are liquidable at that point. So would people rather kind of test their luck and gamble on a lot of these random NFT projects that hundreds pop up every day on these different platforms? Or do you think people would rather collect and invest in Disney, Marvel, DC, Givenchy, Ghostbusters, you name it, Universal? This will become liquidable at some point, and I think the dynamics of the market will completely change. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, could be right. We'll see what happens in the future. Oh, Michael, great question, man. I hate answering this because it takes like hours for me. Michael said, what is your favorite comic and favorite collectible in the app? Wow. Okay. Whew. Man, if I had to just choose one, I'm not going to go aesthetics. I'm just going to go probably the one that means the most to me, I would say, right? If I had to break it down that way, I'm going to go Marvel Comics #1, the original cover, the common. I have a 700 mint. So it's a 3-digit mint. Absolutely love it. It's one that I'm never going to sell. Like if I never sell one of my comics, it's going to be that one. Because me, I love the original cover. I think all variants will be amazing too, especially just because so few people have them. I think the floors will always be crazy high. I just think a lot of demand will go into the original cover, especially on the Marvel Comics #1. I have a 751 mint. And since VeVe takes the first 500, I think people don't realize how scarce the 3-digit commons actually are on this one. But for me, that's my baby right there. That's my comic that I always have. Let's go. Amazing. So that's my comic. Now, collectibles. You guys know me. I'm a little bit more of a collectible fan than the comics. Oh, man. It's so hard to pick one. I'm just racing right now. Because the one that's probably going to stick out, I mean, it's going to be probably too obvious. So I want to kind of have another one. Like for me, I'm going to touch on a few ones that I love a lot. Obviously, the Todd Batman. I mean, there's so many things about the Todd Batman and why I love it so much. First VeVe NFT, first ever Batman NFT, first ever DC NFT. The first time DC as a whole company came out with an NFT, a digital collectible, was VeVe, right? Like, unbelievable. So it's like a triple crown winner for me. I think Todd Batman's going to be legendary as time goes on, and I just love it. What it stands for on VeVe, like everything about it. Now, another part that kind of goes into the personal subjectiveness of this one for me is that I bought it from the store. Like I'm the original owner of my Todd Batman. So like for me, that is the reason why I'll never sell it. I have two that I'll never sell. You guys probably see my third one on the market. And that's my third 1,000 mint. And my game plan is that just to sell it and then buy back the floor mint. So just pocket maybe like $1,000 or not even the grand, but just a little bit under $1,000. Use those gems for something else. But man, I'm the original owner of Todd Batman. Like $79.99, 1,028, 1,038 is my mint. So the reason why I love this is this is back when the mints were first come, first serve. It wasn't random. So I was literally the first, I don't know how many VeVe took of these, maybe 20. So like when I bought this Todd, my mint number was 1,038. I was one of the first 1,000, excuse me, one of the first 1,000 people to buy the Todd McFarlane Batman. And think about it this way, right? This just goes to show you that prior to March, most people had no idea the worth of any of this stuff. Todd McFarlane Batman was released October 2020. Drop date, October 14th, 2020. So think about that, right? From October 2020, November 2020, December 2020, January 2021, February 2021, March 2021, 5 months, and less than 1,000 Batman were bought. Like, think about that, right? I feel like the people who joined in March, everything that we did, to get it really booming, because we had less than 10,000 users March 1st. By the end of March, we had 200,000 users, 180,000 people. So, the culture that shifted right there was a game changer, right? So that's why it's so valuable to me. And same with the other ones that I bought that mean a lot to me right there. The Nightwing, I got 2 Nightwing on the drop. That's another one that means a lot to me because it was the first drop that I ever went for, and I got it too. I got 2 of them. Nightwing, the FA Joker, I bought a 559 mint. This got released November 4th, 2020. Think about this. FA Joker, right? I kept my 559 mint. It's the original one that I bought. And this got released November 4th, 2020. So from November, December, January, February, March, less than 500 were bought. Like, think about that. It took 5 months for 500 Jokers, FA Jokers, to be bought. So, like, these feelings of me looking back at the mint number of these collectibles brings me back to that time period. It's like a time capsule for me. So it's so hard just to narrow it down to one because of all this stuff. Like, I love so many of these collectibles. Secret Rare Spider-Man I got on the drop. Unbelievable. I love the Dragon Girl because I got that one on the drop. I bought the second one right after it. The Walt I love a lot too, just because of what it stands for Disney. But I think my favorite, if I had to narrow it down to one collectible, it's probably the Todd McFarlane Batman. Just because of what it stands for. It's like a triple crown winner for me, I mean, the fact, there's always going to be debates, right? The first DC Comics NFT, the first DC Direct, etc. But like the first time DC as a whole company, came out with an NFT into the digital space, a digital collectible, was when VeVe. That's game changing. I have been like, I think VeVe's been licensed with DC since like 2018, or I don't know the time frame, but it was shortly after Tokidoki, and Tokidoki was their first ever license. So have they dropped an announced price for tomorrow's drop? I don't think so just yet. Maybe in the recent VeVe tweet. I've been kind of on stream for a little bit longer than usual. I was going to wrap it up in just a moment. I still got to retweet a lot of people. I've been kind of just rambling on. But I wanted to touch on a lot of topics today. Khaki. Shout out to Khaki Gasian. He said, "Are the bots back? Question mark? Question mark." Green Goblin said, "Nope, just alien speed fingers." Johnny Dunn. Shout out to all the aliens out there. Yeah, I definitely want to make a video. It's been on my mind the last couple of days. I want to make a video on the branding of NFTs because I think that's going to be the game changer. That's going to be a huge cultural shift in society. Instead of majority of people thinking NFTs equal some kind of scam on the blockchain, with all these expensive animal pictures. Like I said, we know it's way more than that, right? Are there some of that? Yeah, of course, there's some of that. Just like websites in 1990 saying, oh, they're scams. Are there scam websites? Yeah. Are there great websites? Absolutely. And I think the same thing's going to happen with this space. So I really just want to put a video out on it. I could talk about it forever because it's huge. Once people start thinking NFT as digital collectible, it's going to be game changing. The technology behind it itself can be used for so many different things. But in the collectible industry, I think NFT will be the information, the information highway, like what people used to call the internet. I think that's going to be that kind of same kind of shift. Mine is the Back to the Future sets because it's my favorite series. So nostalgic, and the score is magical, like Star Wars, Harry Potter, etc. Yeah, I think Back to the Future is a great set too. I think it's kind of low key, maybe just because more of the fan base really isn't on the VeVe app just yet. But yeah, Back to the Future is iconic. It's Dan Creller's favorite car, maybe even a favorite NFT on the app. I know he's talked about how much he loves Back to the Future. I mean, it's iconic. It's something that's going to, last forever. So I definitely I like both. I like the DeLorean and I like the hoverboards too. Probably DeLorean a little bit more. Great question here. Do you prefer comics over collectibles long term? Papa Giza Brazer's back, baby. Let's go. Loving your name, brother. Great question. I think this is going to be kind of like we said with, first to the blockchain debate. I think this is going to be a debate that continuously happens over time. Maybe a majority may shift collectibles for a while, then people shift comics and then back to collectibles. And so what I think about this is comics have like a cult following, right? I mean, comic collectors are huge, right? To where if they have a Holy Grail comic, they're not letting that thing go. It's kind of niche, right? Comic collectors, but they're so hardcore to where I don't even think a lot of comic collectors have really embraced this space just yet. So I think there's a lot of room to grow. I'm going to lean towards collectibles, Papa Geezer Breezer, just because I think the utility will be overmatched for a lot of it. Meaning we have first appearances of some of these iconic collectibles, iconic characters in premium digital format. And so I think with that on top of the utility involved, could just set it apart, meaning like you could play games with this kind of stuff in the future and all different types of things. But on the other hand, it may not outweigh some of the Holy Grail comics like Fantastic Four #1, Marvel Comics #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how they out Fantastic Four #5, like some of the Holy Grail comics. I think will always kind of rival the Holy Grail collectibles. But I would say as a whole, maybe collectibles a little bit, just because I think there's going to be tons of comics that don't have that much weight to it. If you see how I'm saying that, basically. But again, there's going to be a lot of collectibles that don't hold that weight either, too. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I just think there's going to be maybe more Holy Grail collectibles as a whole because there's so many different brands out there, right? We have Holy Grail collectibles from the largest brands of all time. But I think it's always going to rival the Holy Grail comics. So if you can get Holy Grails of both of them, I think you're in a safe spot. But maybe if like on the lower tier ends, maybe the collectible sides because of gaming and utility, etc. But to rival that, just to be devil's advocate with what I'm saying personally, even some of the comics that may not have that much value, Master Collector Program is going to help them. But also people like me who've never collected comics before will probably push up the value of that because there's going to be more demand. There's going to be average people that are going to become comic collectors. So I think it's going to be an ongoing debate for sure. I lean maybe collectibles, but I think the Holy Grail comics will kind of rival those Holy Grail collectibles. I know the feeling. I'm the original owner of the Walt. Wow. I know Willow Kid. He's also original owner of the Walt. I don't think there's too many original owners of them. So, Jared, that's going to be big time, especially once the web app comes and we can maybe see the history of these collectibles. I think people who have the money, they're going to pay a premium for someone that only is the original owner. That way it's not owned by, 30 different people or 100 different people, unless it's owned by a celebrity, and then that maybe, push it over the edge. Wow. What? My collectibles, is this real? I'm the OG owner of both my R2 and C3PO. Got both on the drop. My collectibles, that's grails right there. I've had a debate with this with some people, and I even myself, I have a debate all the time. What's going to be more valuable to people in the future, a low mint or an originally owned collectible? I think it's going to depend, right? I think it's going to depend on what that low mint is, maybe what your mints are on those originally owned. But I think being a content creator, being an influencer, growing your name in the community, my collectibles, I think having a name like that will even put even more of a premium weight on being the original owner. Meaning, if you're the original owner, amazing. You're a content creator, influencer that people love, double whammy. If you have a low mint on top of that, that's like a triple crown winner, to where it's like undeniably holy grail. But even a high mint, some of my Todd McFarlane Batmans are like 1,038. I think that's 1,032. I think it's 1,038. 1,200. Like even kind of higher mints, if you're the original owner and you're a big name in the community, I think that's going to be a huge, it's going to pull a huge weight right there. I can't believe you got both of them on the drop, man. That's unbelievable. I know how hard those drops were back then. Spooks, pulled your first secret rare. Wow, shout out to you. Would you sell or hold? Spooks. So this is an amazing comic book. Like, this is going for a lot of money in the real world. Let's see. Secret rare is back down below 1,000. 939. There's only 49 available. Let's see how many have to be distributed still. A little less than half. We're probably around the floor. I would say, it all depends on your situation, Spooks. If you need liquidity, if you'd rather hold it for your collection. Not a financial advisor, so it's not financial advice, just my opinions only. I want to kind of give you some options here. I think if you were to sell it, you're going to get about 1,000 gems. It could be a good play. It really depends on what's dropping. This is Star Wars month, so I think people are gearing up for more Star Wars collectibles to be dropped. Now, I think Holy Grail comics will long-term still be Holy Grail comics no matter what drops. But in the short term, things could fluctuate, especially like a comic like this. I think it depends what they drop. We don't know what's dropping, so it's hard to tell exactly. But if they say they do release a Darth Vader or some kind of crazy sought after Star Wars collectible, I think the prices of this comic will go down along with the rest of the market. And then as soon as that drop happens, it goes right back up. So if you wanted to play the short-term game, maybe let it go for about 1,000, buy back if it dips. This comic, I see it could go above 1,000 because of how well, how valuable it is in the real world. I think it just comes down to your situation. Do you really want the liquidity to kind of make some more moves, to kind of increase your collection and have gems ready for next drops? If you don't need the money, you don't need the liquid, I think it's a solid hold. Just the way I see it, though, my opinions only. 120, most likely. Thomas Conger, are you talking about the drop tomorrow? So the battle statue might be about 120. That's what the first battle statue was. VeVe Arcade, let's go. Shout out to VeVe Arcade. I've been tuned into a lot of your videos lately. This is an up-and-coming VeVe, new content creator. Been making amazing videos. So, guys, if you guys haven't checked out VeVe Arcade yet, definitely check out VeVe Arcade. I've been digging the YouTube videos, man, so keep doing a great job. So Back to the Future is iconic, and the new one is even better. Have you seen the new DeLorean? I haven't even seen the new DeLorean, VeVe Arcade. Definitely got to check that out. I didn't even know they made a new DeLorean. We got VeVe Vision in the house. Let's go. Guys, just got double whammies with two great content creators. If you want some new content VeVe creators to look into and you haven't followed them yet, VeVe Arcade and VeVe Vision. Two awesome, content creators in the VeVe fam. Definitely want to get them some more love. How we doing the drop, VeVe Vision? How'd you guys do? Did you go for multiple? Did you go for one? How'd you land? Let me hear how'd you guys do? Wow, 43. Dude, that's amazing. Shout out to you. I have the crate expectations too. I kind of a higher low mint. Mine's in the 900s. The good thing about mine is I was able to get matching mints for it, so I'm happy about that. But man, 43 is low. So his art goes for like tens of thousands of dollars, right? You have the third one available publicly. That's amazing right there. I think that could be a grail piece for a lot of people. I think the fine art is going to do amazing. Speaking of fine art, this is one of the videos I just watched on VeVe Arcade's video. He did a video on kind of how the art is surprising people. I agree with this because he talked about how most of the artwork, especially the fine art on VeVe, is actually holding up during this bear market really well. And I was kind of surprised because you guys know me, I've been more about, bigger IP brands and stuff like that, just a personal preference. But there is some fine art on the app that I really love. And it has been interesting. He pulled up great examples of a lot of the artwork that may be surprising people. You see a lot of these collectibles from big brands going to retail. A lot of the fine art is doing well. I think it's going to continue to happen. There's all different segments in art. So we see some of maybe some of the pop art isn't doing as well. Some of the other art maybe lagging behind a little bit, but most of the art is doing pretty well. So it's good to see that. Do you see the Pixar set in the future mooning? So which Pixar set? The Golden Moments or the first Pixar and Friends series? I mean, I think the Pixar and Friends series will do well. You have some big collectibles in there. And the good thing about that set is you have a collectible from like each, huge iconic movie in Pixar. I think that's why they did that. Originally, I think a lot of us wanted maybe all of the Monsters, Inc. type thing. But they gave us, the first collectible out of that one, the first Toy Story collectible. So as we see the Pixar and Friends series growing, series 4, series 5, I think series 1 will be iconic. I just delisted my Star Wars comic. I'm pretty behind on these comics, or these comments. So I think it was the one I was talking about, how I was still trying to get a 3-digit Star Wars comic. My collectible said, just delisted the Star Wars comic. I'm the OG of a 3-digit Star Wars #1 comic. You convinced me. Wow. Yeah, my collectibles, man. I mean, you're a Star Wars fan too, right? I think Star Wars fans would pay a premium to be like getting a comic or a collectible from the original owner. Maybe that's going to take some time to play out. Maybe once we start seeing the history of these collectibles on the VeVe app, the web app type thing. I think that will be a big deal. Maybe just long term. But yeah, man, I think that's a good one. I mean, I look at it like I know Star Wars #1 isn't the most iconic, most valuable comic. But I think it's as a non-comic expert, I see how much room that comic has to grow because so many people have yet to even dive into collecting comics. Once they dive into that, they're going to want Star Wars' first ever comic book. I try to use myself as an example for that. Your average mainstream type person, wasn't a hardcore collector, wasn't into crypto. Now I have a comic book on my wall, right? Like I just got a kind of a low mint common, a 1,000 mint, not a 3-digit though. Richard H. Now, the thing about this is sometimes after 30 days or every 30 days, they get delisted. So, I mean, you may see the floors look really, really weak and sometimes, but don't forget people can relist an item. But yeah, I think the Secret Aston Martin is a grail for sure. I mean, that's definitely a good one. That's one I don't have. I definitely want that one. Wow, let's go. Bruno, secret rare on the drop. Let's go. DG Vet said VeVe Arcade, legit content. Yup, absolutely. VeVe Arcade, VeVe Vision, my collectibles, Amazing content creators. That's what's so amazing about this, guys, is that VeVe has blossomed into something so big to where, there's so many different influencers now. It's just amazing because it provides an outlet for the whole entire community, right? There's not just one person. There's not just two people. There's literally so many people now to where people can tune into, whoever they're liking at the moment, their favorite content creators. Maybe, this person's got a niche in this little angle, so we're going to, watch this person for this content. Maybe we'll dive into this person to see what he has to say on it. Like, I just think what's happening is legendary, and other platforms are trying to recreate it. Other platforms are trying to figure out how this happened. We have other, big brands watching our entire community right now. Marvel's watching all of us right now saying, how did this happen so quickly, right? Like, what's happening, guys, is truly unbelievable. It's a historic time in life. It doesn't really seem like that because we're living in it, right? Anytime you're living in history, it just seems like normal, right? It takes after it happening to look back and say, we were really a part of that. We really helped shifted that, helped shape the culture of it. And that's what we're doing right now in season 1, 2, and 3, guys. It's about to be season 4 soon. Then it's going to be season 5. And then it's going to be season 10 before we know it. This is unbelievable. So when we're on season 10, when we're on season 5 and all these things, people are going to look at us and say, how did you not go all in? The biggest brands of all time being digitized for the first time in the history of the world. But because we're in the midst of it, we're feeling the FUD. We're feeling the distractions. We're feeling the negativity. I mean, look back at Amazon. Amazon stock was $19 at one point. Why did we not all go all in but the house on Amazon at $19, right? Because there was competition, because there was distractions, because there was negativity, there was FUD. People didn't really think that we were going to go in the digital world and people would put their credit card online and buy something digitally. That just seems so ludicrous at the time, right? Now we look at it like, what? You actually go to the physical store and buy that? Like, times change. We saw it with music. I talk about that all the time where I won't even talk about it again because I feel like you guys are sick of me hearing how it's like the digital music streaming all over again. But I get so excited talking about this because I can see it so vividly. I have that VeVe vision going on right now. 3,000 uncommon and a common. Love to drop today, and I sniped some commons after market. Solid idea. Solid idea. I think anytime you're able to, you might probably scooped up some of those commons at retail. That's a great move right there. DG Vet, check out VeVe Vision. I'll check out VeVe Vision. Yeah, definitely have to check them out. Amazing content creators. Wow, Tim. 4-digit secret rare today. Shout out to Tim. Amazing. Secret rare of this one is going to be pretty valuable, I think. What's your top 3 favorite sets on VeVe? Great question. Wow. All right. I may have to pull out the sets to look at them all. Like a full set. I've never got this question, VeVe Vision. A full set. What are my favorite full sets? Let me take a look at this one. This is a great question. I've usually just gotten like my favorite collectibles or comics. All right. I just saw one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite set. It's kind of an obvious answer though. It's like my favorite collectible, Todd, right? The first set of VeVe. Black and White Series 1. You got the Todd, you got the Rizzo, you got the Joe M, you got the Becky Batman. I love this set for what it stands for, what it means. Like, if I kept one set on VeVe and they were all priced the same, I'm keeping the first set. I'm keeping Batman Series 1. It's the first ever VeVe set. So, like, to me, anything in this set is going to be untouchable. That's why I still haven't got a second Joe M Batman. Price is $424. I've been probably a good time to re-enter that. I want to get a second Joe M Batman. Just because I think all the collectibles in the first set are going to be out of reach. There probably won't even be any on the market eventually. They're all FEs besides the Todd FA. I think that's going to go, and that's something that's going to take long term to, I think, play out and have significance. But maybe season 10, maybe season 7, and people start to realize there's no more FE collectibles besides the Harley Quinn and the Red and Black series. But the first ones ever, kind of like that mistake that they kept, I think will go down in history long term. So the first set of Batman, favorite set. That's my number one. Absolutely. Let's see if there's any other. I know there's golden moments. I mean, that's going to be up there. Yeah, okay. Maybe I will be able to fit it in 3. Because 3 is hard to put it in just 3. And it kind of fluctuates too. There's some times where, you know, some days or weeks that I'm just absolutely loving this collectible or set. And then maybe I'm a little bit tired of it. And so another one piques my interest that I have that I love. Man, I'm going to have to leave one out that I absolutely love. Oh, man, that's going to be a tough one too. All of the golden moments are going to be tough to leave out. The first set ever with Homer and Bart. Pixar, Star Wars golden moments. All right, I'm not including Walt because Walt's an obvious answer just because of the price point. So out of those Disney golden moments, if I had to choose the full set as my favorite, I think it's a Star Wars set. I do. Combination of aesthetics, detail, what it really means, the significance of that, the first Star Wars NFTs. I think that's my favorite, my second favorite. My first favorite golden moment set, like combined together, not including Walt. It's so hard to leave out the Bart, the Simpsons one too, because that's the first ones ever. Oh, man, like I have 2 Homers, and I can't let my duplicate Homer go yet because, one, we're going to see more Simpsons roll out. So can you only imagine when the ultra rare Homer comes out in yellow and it's full color and it's not FA? And when Bart comes out and it's full color, it's not FA. I'm going to want both, but they're not the first appearances. So I think the Homer and Bart together is going to go through the roof. So that's when I plan on letting that one go. Between the Star Wars set and the Simpsons set, that's tied. I'm adding ties to get more sets in. That's hilarious. Spider-Man set. Oh man, how am I pass on this one? The only reason why I would not include the Spider-Man set is because it's just different poses. But I have to include this one. This one might be my second favorite. Todd, the first ever Batman set, then the Spider-Man set, and then maybe the Star Wars golden moments. But I love the Givenchy set too. But all right, I'm gonna rank them in order for you, VeVe Vision, because I love you guys. You guys make great content. I'm gonna rank them in order just for you guys, right? First one's definitely Batman Series 1. That's my favorite set, no matter what. And then I would say, oh man, do I put it before the Disney golden moment? Yeah, I will. Especially because I got it on the drop. A little bit more sentimental value there. Secret Rare Spider-Man, FA Spider-Man set. Because I got it on the drop, man, the $400, barely even had $400 I could spend at the time. Got the $400, got the drop. And that was back before blind boxes. You could pick which one you were going for. So I went for the Secret Rare, got the Secret Rare. Came out in the marketplace like $2,000, went down to like $1,300. I was like, okay, I'm just holding it. Woke up a couple days later, it's like 60, 70, 80K. I think it's like 40K right now. It may go down a little bit in the short term, but I think it's going to go back up long term. The first ever Marvel NFT. I'm going to bring up, I know there was a lot of debate in the community at one point. These aren't real NFTs and all this, but you know, I think this kind of just solidified that. Introducing Marvel's first NFT. I mean, I think the significance of that is going to be huge long term. I mean, we all know how popular Spider-Man is. It's the first time ever Spider-Man has been digitized, and we own it. Even the Common. I think the Common's going to do unbelievable numbers too. I think all of them are going to do great. So I would have to say Spider-Man's my second one. First ever DC NFT, first ever Marvel NFT. And then we got the Disney Golden Moment. Can I add all the Golden Moments as my favorite set? Let me bring it up. Now, I would say significance-wise, man, the first time ever Disney license has released NFTs, it was Homer and Bart and the skateboard. Now, I know that's a Fox brand, so it's not like Disney. And because there's that, debate, it may be a continuous debate over time. But, I mean, the date is the date. I think combined with the significance value of the first Star Wars NFTs and the aesthetics, I think the aesthetics of what these Star Wars collectibles look like are amazing. And the Pixar, like the Wall-E, is probably one of the best looking, with the most details, one of the best looking Golden Moments, I think. Not value-wise, but Wall-E probably aesthetically, the detail in this is unbelievable. But with that said, I still think Star Wars, because I think Star Wars has two of the best combined looking ones with the detail. I'm amazed by this detail, though. I mean, Wale. Shout out to Wale. If anyone likes hip hop music, but Wale, the detail looks amazing. But same with C-3PO and R2-D2. Let me bring them up. Yeah, C-3PO and R2-D2 would probably be my third favorite set, actually. I would include Disney Golden Moments as a whole, but if I had to break it down for you guys, I love the way R2-D2 looks, and then same with C-3PO. Yeah. It's like the mesh on his chest. Like the mesh part, you can't even see it through the screen, but just look up close at Wall-E, but then look at the Star Wars, the C-3PO and the R2-D2. Like, they crush the details on those. Let's see. This is a good question here. I'll definitely answer this because I like talking about this kind of stuff. I do want to head off because my congestion is just terrible right now, but I'm going to touch on some of these comments because I want to talk about this. Which tech will dominate the NFT space, AR or VR? Me personally, it's VR because push more and the freedom and creativity being able to create literal worlds, but I obviously see AR with major use too. So I think both are going to be huge. I kind of see AR as being like the first layer of like mainstream adoption, meaning maybe not though, maybe it is VR. I see one of them coming first, and then as the majority masses start really adopting it and getting used to it, the other one comes with more, by that time, more technology laid out smoothly, and then dive into that even more. So maybe VR comes first, and then as the AR technology with LiDAR, I think inclusion is going to be a game changer. If you guys don't know what inclusion is, it's with AR, basically, it can stay in that spot. LiDAR makes it to where you can like run into walls and jump off stuff like that in the picture, but inclusion is like what I think is going to make it really become mainstream to where I can place a desk. Maybe I can place the desk in AR right next to me, right? And then, move over here, over there. And then when I look back, it's still right there. So I think like once we have an AR metaverse and the Apple glasses can go AR, like an overlayer of real life, that's when I think things get really, really crazy. I think we'll see houses, people who can afford it, because it all depends on everyone's situation. But I just see a future of AR overlaying reality, but VR may come first. I'm not too sure. I think at first I thought maybe AR, then VR. I think schools will use VR big time because instead of paying for a trip to go to Disney World or go to a different museum or whatever the case is, just put on your VR glasses, class. And now we can take a field trip to this place, to the aquarium in VR. So I think VR will be more so used in schools and everything like that. AR, though, maybe it takes longer for AR to become massive, because the way I see AR becoming like mainstream is like everyone has AR glasses. Like, say if these were my Apple AR glasses, there's going to be some kind of Bluetooth connectivity to where I have like a device in my house, in my front door. I walk into my front door and it links with the glasses. So now I see everything in augmented reality in this person's house. And that's when I think things get crazy, because the things like inclusion, you don't have to place the object. Like once you place the object, it stays there. Meaning I could place all my augmented reality NFT collection behind me, right? And then anybody who walks into my house with the AR glasses on will then just see everything in augmented reality the same way I'm seeing it. So maybe that technology takes a little bit of time to come. Great question here. I definitely see it, kind of being a mixture of both, but one's going to become more mainstream than the other first. I don't have a 100% accurate answer with that one, because I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not too sure. I kind of just am on the side of just letting things play out and watch it happen. We need a VeVe fan fest. We do. We need to have something. That'd be awesome. That's kind of what the decon stuff is for, right? When all the members, not members, but when the whole fam links up. That's why I wish I went to the first decon. It came up on me too fast before I was able to make out a good trip. Shout out VeVe Vision. Great question here, Cracks. So what's up, JD? Just a quick question. Why does Batman in number 89 have an FA tag? So the reason why that got an FA tag is because that's technically a different character. And so because it's a different character of Batman, it's its own first appearance of the Laughing Batman. Wow, let's go. Secret rare. Let me dive into the prices on these. They're probably going to be going up. Oh, going down a little bit. Okay, so the secret rare is at 888. The ultra rare is at 162. The rare is at 37. Crazy, right? I feel like that's usually about half of the ultra rare. Ultra rare is at 160. Rare is only at 37. I thought it'd be about like 80, 70. Uncommons at 15. Commons at 10. Talk about detail. Elsa, yeah, absolutely. So that's another one. Elsa looks unbelievable. Her dress, I forgot to mention Elsa. Absolutely. Elsa is probably one of the best golden moment, aesthetic wise. The detail on her is unbelievable. That's another one. Just put in augmented reality, or not even augmented reality, just look at it on the app and just look around and zoom in. Unbelievable detail. I forget who it was, but it was when that dropped, they said, Johnny, it looks better than the Gold Dragon Girl. Knowing that I'm a huge fan of the Gold Dragon Girl, I was like, don't be talking about my baby now. And they're like, no, I'm serious. Like, Elsa looks amazing. It could beat it. I was like, okay, let me look at this. So I bring up Elsa. I'm looking at it, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, there's something different about this one. So I went and bought it. And I'm glad I did. The Disney Lenticular set is pretty special to me. Tons of first editions, and first secret rare. Super cheap too right now. Absolutely Pixel Trader. I think that's one that got hit hard. I think there's still a lot of room to grow with that one. You have literally the biggest Disney characters, first editions of them, right? The first ever secret rare from Disney. It's why I wanted to collect that set. I just haven't gotten it yet. I do think that's going to be a big one. The Donald and Lady and Tramp look nice, more shiny than Pooh. It is VeVe Arcade. I love the way Donald and Daisy look together. There's something different, about they all kind of have their own aesthetics, right? Like, it's almost the way I thought about it originally. I don't know if they did this on purpose or accident. I always thought it was like different carats of gold digitally. Like when the first series came out, or season or week of Disney Golden Moments, they all have a different kind of gold. Like the Homer and Bart has a different shade of gold than all the others. And I was like, you know what? The base is even different too. Like the base is signed. And when I use the base for a lot of my floors and my ceilings, so I'm kind of familiar, I guess, the most with all the bases on the Golden Moments. But I'll tell you, there's no other Golden Moment base that looks like Homer and Bart and the skateboard NFT or the skateboard collectible. I don't know why. I don't know if that was like VeVe's little like hidden thing. Like, we're going to make these different carats of gold, right? Because some of them in the future, like we see, Winnie the Pooh's a different shade of the Donald and Daisy. Lady and Tramp. I haven't really done too much of a look of that one. I know the Hogsworth, that's like a different shade of gold too than the shininess. So I wonder if that was just like an accident thing that came out that way, or they're really trying to do like different carats of gold. Because I'm telling you, if you guys have the Homer and Bart or the skateboard collectible, use that base as the ceiling or the floor, and then bring up another collectible in the Golden Moments and use that base as a ceiling and or the floor, the opposite. And tell me which one hits a lot different. There's something about that. It makes it look shine. It almost has the shine of like the Donald and Daisy Golden Moment itself, but when you use that base, it's not like that. So I always kind of hope that was their goal, is like making the Homer like a different carat of gold, but I don't know. It's just speculation of what it looks like. Yeah. I would say AR is more readily available, like easier to integrate with at first. And so that's kind of originally why I did think AR would take off right away. And then VR is like that next wave that kind of gets the masses. I think the simple AR stuff, like the Snapchat filters, that's definitely going to become more widespread. It's one of the reasons why I actually bought the Bat Cow. Someone asked me if I did buy one earlier in the stream, and I did buy one. And it was because I love the Snapchat integration of that. I remember years ago, people were literally paying hundreds of dollars for a Snapchat filter that they didn't even own, just to be able to take Snapchat filters and augmented reality with like the dog face with the tongue sticking out. You had, an exclusive, not exclusive, but you had a AR filter that most people couldn't get. And so when it's like that, there's a whole like status thing involved with that, with people psychologically. So I think the same thing will play out. I mean, I think that's going to transition to NFTs. Then people own that NFT and augmented reality, take pictures with. We kind of see it happen with different platforms. It's why I love VeVe AR. As soon as I found it in March of 2021, I was like, oh my gosh, augmented reality with the biggest brands in the world. I even said, imagine once this gets integrated in social media. We just seen another project do that with the cows. I think a lot of these VeVe NFTs will eventually get there in the future. But it's just the way I see it going. The thing that really made me bullish was that I know that people paid money for Snapchat filters and augmented reality that they didn't even own, right? So I think when I saw the AR as the biggest brands in the world that we can actually own, I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is like crazy like opportunity right now. So I think Snapchat and social media integration with augmented reality will be a little bit more widespread. I was just thinking about where the technology is going to go in the future. And until we have the inclusion aspect, I think inclusion in LiDAR is coming soon, though, for a lot of phones even. And I guess I was kind of more so thinking about once we have the AR in the glasses, because that's going to be game changing, right? I mean, it's amazing to use your augmented reality stuff in your phones right now. But once we have inclusion is like where you can, like David Yu, I think even on his Instagram has teased this out a little bit. Plotting, like he opens a VeVe app and places your object, and it's not just one object. It's an entire desk or it's entire like frame or whatever with all your VeVe NFTs in there. So I think once we can have that kind of stuff and kind of stay there stationary, that's going to be big time. Yeah, it's one of those things where some people, they just don't get it yet. And it's like trying to convince people of the internet before the internet came out, right? It's like no one's going to do that. No one's going to be putting their credit cards on the internet. But now it's like if you go to the physical store and buy stuff, you're looked at as like, wow, you actually went to the store? So times will change, and I think a lot of the parents will start to understand it too. J.O., one thing I would say is if your parents are struggling to be on board with OMI, try to get them to understand the VeVe NFTs. And now they may not understand NFTs, right? They may be against that. But here's what you can do. This is how I kind of got my dad really like interested in it. But I didn't even do it. He kind of did it on himself. I think he kind of just learned over time. I think it was Lone Rider. I always talk about this example, and I still always forget. I don't know what it's not Knight Rider. It's another movie with a Harley Davidson motorcycle bike as like a Captain America theme or something. But I guess it's a movie that really interested him. And he thought about it and said, that motorcycle should be an NFT. And I was like, yes, I was like, yes, it's like exactly that collectible, that item right there could be a digital collectible, in augmented reality on the VeVe app one day. We've already got a motorcycle. I can imagine if we got Harley Davidson next. Like, so it takes, I think, people who may be against it just to find something they're interested in, and then just realizing you can own that digitally now. So that's really the game changer it was for my parents. I mean, my mom kind of got on board right away to understand. I mean, my dad got on board too. It's just he didn't, I don't think, really understood it. He just kind of got on board because he trusted us, But now I think he understands it, and I think he gets, the whole digital concept. So again, I think it just takes people. Maybe your parents are into cars, right? So, JD, tried that multiple times. Trust me, no luck. All right. Sometimes, just won't be for everybody. And even if they did understand it, they still may not like it. Kind of the same way with music, right? I mean, most of us understand there's digital music with Apple Music, Spotify, but there's still plenty of people in the world who say, I don't like that. I still would rather have the physical CD or the physical, record of it. And that's perfectly okay too. It's just, if they can realize that we're at the beginning of this next digital revolution in collectibles, the same way music went digitized, same way the internet, kind of blossomed out of nowhere, and people were like calling it the information highway. Now it's just the internet. Now people are calling it NFTs. I think soon it'll be just digital collectibles. I think that's really the shift that's going to happen. Ooh, okay. It's good to see hotels in LA have digital art NFTs already, because that's going to be game changing too. If people can see that a physical item can kind of be an NFT too, I think that's going to be. It's all about, for me, is shifting the mindset in people where they hear NFT and they don't think scam, blockchain, expensive animal pick, waste of money. I want people to think NFT, a digital collectible from their favorite brands of all time. That's that major shift that has to happen. That I want to kind of be, helping that happen. Wow. So DJ Tico, I bet in the future people will use their AR collectibles as Halloween costumes and stuff like that. I see this happening. Now, long term, it's going to take until AR glasses are like everywhere, because no one's going to be dressing up as Halloween as an augmented reality costume if no one's wearing augmented reality glasses, right? So that's like something that's going to be long term, I think. I mean, long term could be 5 years. We don't know how fast this shift is really going to happen. So maybe it takes 3 years, maybe it takes 2 years, maybe it takes 10 years to happen, right? But that's the future I see happening. People will still dress up in real costumes because people want to be in that real costume. And then some people are going to just buy the digital costume, the augmented reality costume, then go around Halloween, and then everybody with the augmented reality glasses just seeing everybody in their costumes, right? That's huge. I never even thought about it for Halloween. Wow. Unbelievable. DJ Tico, save this video, because in a few years, I'm getting the chills right now. Like, I just saw it happening. That's exactly what's going to happen. People are going to go on the VeVe app. Maybe there's tons of other platforms, right? I'm just saying VeVe. And they're going to buy their Halloween costume, right? Imagine if it's Freddy or Scream or whatever kids used to dress up as Halloween, right? You could buy that augmented reality digital collectible on the VeVe app and then put it on as your costume, essentially. So when people have AR glasses on, that's what they see. And then, they go like this and they see, oh, okay, it's the real person. And then they see their costume that way. It's just not laid out. The technology foundation, we're getting there, but I just think it's just not there yet. But places like Disney World, they're all gearing up for this stuff, guys. So when you go to Disney World and you have your AR glasses on, I'm sure you're going to be able to see all these different collectibles, maybe the augmented reality shirts, costume that you're wearing. My buddy Tyler was talking about it yesterday or a couple of days ago on the stream. Like, that stuff is going to be unbelievable. And we're at the very cusp of it. We're shaping this whole culture of where we're going. So amazing, DJ Tico. Yeah, absolutely. VR games are going to be crazy. Even just being in the VR Oculus, I think the Oculus right now, this year specifically, like last Christmas, in 2021, was game changer, because so many people now finally got the Oculus for the first time. It's became a price point where it's kind of more mainstream now. I look at the Oculus almost like the iPhone. Ready? How did cell phones first start out? big, huge, clunky things, right? And if you told people back then, you're going to be carrying that around with you 24/7, people would call you a moon boy, right? People would have called you all kinds of crazy things. But what happened? That got sleeker, right? Less friction. And then the iPhone came out. That's what's happening with VR goggles. Huge, bulky things. Then the Oculus comes out. Pretty expensive. Not many people have it. A newer version comes out, a little bit sleeker, more mainstream. A lot of people are getting it. Price point comes down. And eventually that evolution is going to keep on happening. If you told someone you're going to be wearing that Oculus, big, bulky goggles around with you 24/7, you'd be laughed at. Same way you would be laughed at if you were told you're going to carry that big cell phone around with you 24/7. Once that sleeks down, becomes frictionless, people are carrying around the phones 24/7. What's going to happen with AR and VR glasses when they become frictionless and they sleek down? I think people are going to be wearing them all the time. Good or bad? That's another debate, right? That could be a whole nother live stream. Is it going to be good or bad? But it's happening. So that's the biggest thing I think is happening too, is that a lot of people don't want it to happen. So because you don't want it to happen, you feel like it's not happening. But it's happening whether we like it or not, right? We're going more into this digital world every single day. Sandbox is another, metaverse that I think could do well in the future. Oh, that's awesome. Shout out to Denver. I feel like Denver's always kind of been that innovative state. Always kind of ahead of the curve on a lot of different things. Wow, yeah, could you imagine, Verena? My mom was just kind of going crazy, but Freddy Krueger, I mean, I know Jay Kill would definitely love that kind of stuff. I don't know if Jay Kill's tuning in or not, but I know he's mentioned it a few times before. So I bought the Bat Cow solely based on Halloween. Oh, solid idea right there, Jerry. I mean, yeah, I think once we start seeing more and more platforms get that social media integration, I think it'll be good for the entire space. Another reason why I like these is because, I'm all for projects that help. Again, I want my whole thing to be changing the branding of NFTs. Now, when new people see that on Snapchat, they won't assume NFTs are that expensive animal pick. They're going to think, oh, wow, my friend has that cool Batman mask, and that's an NFT. Okay, so now NFTs, I'm thinking it could be a digital collectible from Batman. Now, what else has NFTs from Batman? And then they go down the rabbit hole. And that's why I said it's going to take time, because we're literally like on the ground floor, like living in real time of an evolutionary shift. Revolutionary shift. Evolutionary shift, revolutionary shift. Whatever, but not an AR hater. I just know that all the uses for AR are already available for VR. And the other thing about that too is, yeah, absolutely. AR has actually been here for years, like it's been around for a while now. It hasn't just, AR hasn't just came out. There's some newer technologies in that I think will be game changing for the AR stuff, like inclusion and, the LiDAR stuff. But yeah, AR definitely has been been around for a while. I'm waiting until we have like AR, what's the word? Where you don't need something to look through it, meaning it's like a hologram. And now I feel like, I don't know for sure, this might be out there. I could be completely wrong on this. But I've always had speculation that Disney has kind of bought the technology, or a big brand, maybe not Disney, but I think Disney, from everything they have planned so far. But there's technology of like holograms 10 years ago. I don't know if anyone has seen this or not, but if you haven't seen it, watch the Tupac and Snoop Dogg Coachella performance. Snoop Dogg comes out in real life on stage, does the performance. He brings out Tupac. How's he bring Tupac out? He's been passed away for a while, right? A hologram of Tupac. And it looks so realistic. It looks like you're watching it in AR, but people at the live show could watch it without any glasses. You can watch it on YouTube without any glasses. It looks real. It's a hologram. And it was so perfect. I was like blown away. And I think this probably tied into why I was telling my friends back in 2012 that AR is going to be so good. You're going to be looking down on your phone, because I really thought it was going to be like that. And that technology just went away. That technology is just gone ever since. So I was like, okay, what's happening here? Where to go? And so everything that Disney's coming out recently is talking about how they're going to have holograms one day, right, in their parks. I was like, whoa, wait. I haven't seen this technology since a decade ago, and it went away. So one of my best friends was on the team that created the Tupac hologram for Coachella. Wow, DJ Tico, we need to talk, my man. If you're serious about this, you need to inform me. Like, what happened with the technology about that? Did a company buy the technology? Because that's game-changing stuff. Like, talk about revolutionary. That's a revolutionary shift. What I considered happening was maybe a company bought it, and we're waiting for this, blockchain until you can prove digital ownership of stuff to really become mainstream and then bring it back out again. DJ Tico, you need to let me know about this, because that's insane. That blew my mind when I saw it a decade ago. The proto hologram, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that probably mind blown on. Yeah, absolutely. I think the ultra rare too. I think the ultra rare is going to be, amazing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the space goes for sure. VR, AR, they're going to be huge components of this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, bro, a company bought that tech and used my friend and his team to assemble it. Oh my gosh. You need to find out who bought that. DJ Tico. I'm going crazy right now, because that's literally what I've been thinking this whole time. Because I said there's no way that technology just goes, because it's not real anymore, right? You guys have to watch this performance. Like, think about that kind of stuff today. You could have, I was literally, when I found VeVe, that's the kind of technology that I had in the back of my head saying, like, this is the future because of all that. Like, I thought one day maybe you could buy a Bob Marley digital collectible on the VeVe app and then have him perform in augmented reality, and eventually show him like a hologram of him performing. But you own it. That's why I saw all this stuff. Like, I was so bullish on VeVe. I'm I'm VeVe Moonboy, right? Like, that's why I'm so in love with this, because I think once we start getting more into this technology in the future, sky's the limit for it. He told me they went through thousands of hours of performance videos to try to get it look good. And he said that if he did it today, it would be 100 times better. I can only imagine what it would look like today. 100%. I can ask my friend the name of that company. Yeah, ask him. It's probably Disney. Because I think Disney has plans to have like hologram Star Wars in their parks. Yeah, I definitely will check this out. Proto hologram. I'll definitely check it out too. Bob Marley and hologram NFT. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would love to see it. A Bob Marley performance, playing his music. You get to own it. Like, not just Bob Marley, just someone came to mind. Different legendary artists out there. The Beatles, Michael Jackson, for all the fans out there. Like, that'd be historic, right? Like, but DJ Tico, this is amazing. I can't believe a company did buy it, because they're gearing up for the future of that. That's what I believe. There's no way a company bought that technology and just let it go and stopped working on it. I think they're trying to perfect it, getting ready, because the blockchain is the first time ever where we can prove ownership of something digital. So now that the blockchain is becoming more and more mainstream for the masses, I think that's where we're going. Again, it may take some years to get there, but DJ Tico, definitely let me know and get back to me. Are you on Twitter? If you are, let me know your Twitter and DM me, because it keep me updated. I definitely got to figure this out. Unbelievable. It's crazy that I've had these kind of complete guesses. Maybe it did go extinct or whatever, but I just felt like somebody bought that technology and is just holding on to it and trying to work on it and perfect it. I can see proto holograms as a household name display for VeVe NFTs. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it, my man. Proto holograms, huh? All right, I just wrote it down. I see one of the Joker or something like that. I'll definitely look into it because that's the way I see, like, when I say long term, this is like long term, like maybe like the final stages of it. But that's where I see things going. So that way, it may take after glasses become mainstream, right? Because that would eliminate the phone, that would eliminate the glasses. Now it's real life hologram, right? So, but that's where I see we're going. Like, this is, if we were in a time frame, this feels like 92 before websites even became like a thing, right? But just crazy. With all that being said, guys, I am going to be signing off. Yeah, cool. Definitely. Yeah, definitely DM me, DJ Tico. I'm following you, right, on Twitter? Because sometimes if I'm not following people, I won't get the DM. So excited. And people always say, to kind of be devil's advocate of what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, but that's so far away, so many years away. It's like, okay, maybe the final stage is years away, right? But where we're going with AR, VR in a couple years, I think things are going to be game changing in just a few years. So say if it's 5 years from now, right? People want to say, yeah, but it's still 5 years away. It's like, okay, would you rather be on the ground floor 5 years early to the next big digital revolutionary shift? Or would you rather be 5 years late? And everything's perfect. It's obvious, right? Everyone's doing it. But now you can only rent out these collectibles. I'd rather be on the ground floor helping shape this entire industry, this entire space. So I think things are just getting started. Christian J, I'm definitely going to add you to the Discord after this. You're looking up some things. I had a great stream today. Kind of long. I think this might be a 4-hour live stream. I just had a lot of fun today, guys. I hope you guys had a great time too. I'm going to try to do a better job too, kind of like breaking down these live streams to where when it gets uploaded, people can tune into the whole thing. But also I kind of want to break it up to like exciting segments, maybe a couple minute long periods. So I'm going to try to do a better job of that too in the future. But a lot of big things coming, I think. A lot of big things for VeVe. Like, we're seeing prices on some of these right now before the catalysts are even here. They have renting for a reason because they think, most likely, in my opinion, that some of these will be out of reach. So just keep these things in mind too. I mean, this is before celebrities start diving in, before other professional athletes. We saw Justin Turner come in. Welcome to the fam, my man. Big baseball fan myself. So one day, hopefully we could meet, maybe do an interview together. Who knows? But, great time today, guys. I'm excited for the drop tomorrow too. I'm going to put out an announcement once that Medium article gets dropped, if they haven't dropped it already, since I've been doing the stream for so long. But appreciate you guys. I'm signing out. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.